Disclaimer. Please do not target, harass, threaten, or bully anyone referenced, mentioned, or shown in this video. This is merely a commentary from the author of this channel and should be taken with reasonable doubt. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Juju Panda back in action, not about something else today. About something else, it's going to be about furry drama. So, furry conventions. You like attending furry conventions, right? I mean, it's been a whole entire year that COVID-19 has been ravaging the United States, hell, the entire world over. And a lot of people are kind of getting, stir crazy. They're getting that cabin fever, they want to get out and do the things that they used to do. And what better way to really see your friends than go to a furry convention, and do things in the back room, extracurricular activities that you can really enjoy in the privacy of whatever room you happen to book at a particular convention's hotel or maybe an overflow hotel. I mean, it stands to reason that furries want to hang out with other furries, and it's been a long damn time since they've been able to do that. And sure, you can hang out with local furs all you want, but sometimes, you really want that sort of eclectic assembly of people, like the diversity and the variety that a furry convention can really provide. And what better way to do that than to attend one of the many furry conventions all across the United States. And as far as options go, you've got options. I mean, there's AC, BLFC, MFF, TFF, FC, BLFC, like Anthrocon, Midwest Fur Fest, Texas Furry Fiesta, Biggest Little Fur Con, Further Confusion. Hell, even some of the smaller conventions like Fur Fright, or I should say Furpocalypse, and like Megaplex in Florida, just to name a few, you've got options, all right? And all across the year, there's going to be a number of different furry conventions that you can attend, and I guess it really depends on the availability of time that you can dedicate to travel and the cost as far as booking a hotel, attending the convention, and all the other expenses that go within that really limit or expand your opportunity to attend a furry convention. What better way to really bring in a new furry convention than to try something completely new in a new place? One of the draws for me is that if there's a furry convention taking place in a place I've never been to, like say Seattle, I would have attended Rainforest until I found out how much of a cringe fest that actually was. But people have told me that Rainforest was a pretty good convention before, 2016. Was it 2016 that they got closed down? I think it was 2015, but yeah, a little bit before I was really jumping around trying to attend furry conventions. But anyway, I sort of always wanted to go to Seattle, and it would have been even better if there was a furry convention taking place there for me to attend. But thanks to the internet historian, I found out how bad that would have been. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't attend Rainforest, or I would have had a number of stories to tell you all. Anyway, the point is, you've got options if you want to go to a furry convention. Well, there's a new furry convention taking place in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I believe. And it's going to be about 262 days from now, give or take. So I think May in 2022, thereabouts, is going to be a new furry convention. It's called Free For All by the Awoo organization. If you're wondering what Awoo stands for, it's an acronym for Anthro West Open Organization. And apparently, I guess anybody can join or something. I'm not entirely sure, but Free For All has been generating a lot of controversy on Twitter these days. And a lot of people are trying to smear Free For All. They're trying to really educate people about why not to attend, that this is going to be a shit fest, and that to stay the fuck away from free-for-all. But why would they do such a thing? I would imagine that the prospect of a new furry convention would be appealing to furries. I mean, like, what's not to love about a new furry convention? You know, like, free-for-all is just trying to start something new, stand up on their own 2 feet, and start a new convention. So where is all this hate coming from? Well, it's basically sort of like alleging that a lot of the event organizers are, you know, alt-righters, that they're Nazis, that they're people that are transphobic, homophobic, and, you know, bigoted, and that there's also a bit of a Christian twist to it all, that they are adherents of Christian values and aren't really, they're not really facilitating the open-endedness that a lot of furries are accustomed to with, you know, their sense of nihilism and atheism and being above religion at large. Because, like, people are equating this to, like, a Mormon convention because, you know, one of the terms of service is that you're not supposed to be basically showing shows of affection in public, which is a little bit weird because I'm used to conventions where open shows of affection between 2 partners or consenting adults is completely, like, allowed and not frowned upon. But this convention, it is completely banned. Some people have kind of, like, engaged in hyperbole in saying that Nazi uniforms, A-okay, but public shows of affection, banned. And how true that is, I'm not entirely sure, but we're certainly going to get into it in more specific detail. But not only that, but I guess a pretty good sign as to whether or not any of this is credible or not is the fact that 2 Griffin is going to be the guest of honor. Now, me personally, I don't really have any major beef with 2 Griffin. I will just say that his material isn't for me. But 2 Griffin had always gained a reputation of being sort of that edgy guy in the room that would say controversial things, like, to get a laugh out of people. And his stand-up, I've never attended one of his panels, but what I can say is that he'd been a routine, like, guest at Anthrocon over the years, and he always hosted a, you know, comedic stand-up, like, act, and that was sort of his claim to fame. The problem is, back in 2016, he had actually been canceled. And I'm not talking about just on Twitter. I'm talking about, like, Anthrocon actually revoked his ability to be a host at one of the panels. And he never really lived it down. And here's the thing. Cancel culture, I completely agree. It sucks, okay? Cancel culture sucks. In some ways, I would see it as the preferable, like, lesser of 2 evils when you're going after somebody that really deserves it. But people get canceled for bullshit reasons these days, whether it's a statement that they made that has been taken out of context, or misunderstandings, or people having the wrong idea about you. Like, I've been canceled, a couple of my friends have been canceled, it sucks, but at the same time, for you to, like, sort of take up the mantle of bitching about cancel culture and how much it sucks and how damaging it is, like, day in, day out, people aren't going to be too interested to hear about that, right? Like, I certainly wouldn't want to hear somebody complain to me endlessly about something I was already aware of. But that's what 2 Griffin has sort of been doing over these past few years. He's never really lived it down, and that's my only major gripe about him, is that, you know, you've been canceled, okay? It sucks, but you don't keep bitching about it and complaining about it to anybody and everybody who will listen. You sort of get up and move on. You know, you sort of get better than the people that brought you down. You don't just endlessly bitch about it and, like, dwell on it, you know? People get tired of hearing that sort of thing. It's kind of like that lame brain of, like, friend of yours that complains about their last relationship. And it's been 2 years. Or more. You're tired of hearing of it. You know, you just don't want to hear about it. So anytime that they bring it up, you kind of just roll your eyes and go, here we go. Anyway, 2 Griffin has been accused of being, you know, one of these alt-righters, like Nazi, homophobic, transphobic, a bigot, whatever, maybe even racist. How credible these claims are, I'm not entirely sure, but I can tell you that I've seen him say some things on Twitter and various other places that were kind of not good, like, you know, not really taking statutory rape seriously. It's like, oh, it's just a couple years, it's fine. Like, not in so many words, but, like, they didn't seem to take statutory rape seriously. I guess in light of Romeo and Juliet laws and stuff like that. But you know, here in the United States, that shit's serious enough that you can go to jail if you're caught with an underage individual doing the dirty, you know? Like, there's a reason to take it seriously, alright? Hell, a friend of mine from another circle, I wasn't there to hear any of this, but supposedly they had come out and said, hey, me and my boyfriend had relations with a 17-year-old. And, like, the group very quickly started to be like, what the fuck? And it turned into this massive drama. I will not share which particular circle of friends this came from, but the friend was thrown out, and I haven't heard or seen from him since. So, yeah. I mean, I wanted to hear his side of the story, in case, like, anything was taken out of context, but, like, they didn't come from a Romeo and Juliet law state. Let's just put it that way. So it was just kind of like an eye-opener, and I wish I could have, like, at least been there to sort of hear all this out, like, out from start to finish, because I heard it from several different sources, and, ooh, that was not very pleasant, but there was always this fun-loving guy. I never would have expected that to come out of him, but some other people were like, the warning signs were already there, too, Joe, and I didn't see it. Granted, I didn't really like what they did to their ex-boyfriend, as in cheating on them on the side and not taking their relationship too seriously, so yeah, not good. But anyway, didn't take statutory rape seriously. So anyway, he's the guest of honor, and a lot of people are angry about that. I mean, let's be honest here. Why did 2 Griffin get canceled in the first damn place? Well, there was enough of a public outcry against 2 Griffin that Anthrocon revoked his ability to host a panel at, you know, at Anthrocon. That should be substantial enough to sort of, like, gain notice, and this is years ago. So, he hasn't seemed to have improved since. You know, this wasn't sort of a redemption arc where they showed a willingness to accept, hey, maybe people don't really like me, maybe I need to improve. There was no improvement arc here. They just bitched about cancel culture being bullshit, and it is bullshit, but at the same time, ultimately it came down to the choice of Anthrocon and its staff, and they made the choice based on the public's reaction to Griffin that, you know, he was not going to have a panel there. Should he have had his panel taken down? I'm not entirely sure. I'm on the fence, because it's like, you know, you made the agreement, you might as well just give him the panel for that year and cancel him next year. But if enough of a, like, sizable majority of people, like, in the furry fandom at large, has been, like, voicing their concern or their condemnation of somebody, you kind of take notice, alright? And that sort of extends beyond people's political beliefs or this or that. It really extends to people like pedobears, like Growly is a good example. How he was basically attending a lot of furry conventions until a lot of people sort of caught wind of them being a sexual predator and saying, hey, this guy's got to go. Anyway, so 2 Griffin, there's a lot of, like, hateocracy levied against him, but, you know, to go a step further, there's an individual by the name of Peace Wolf that seems instrumental in initiating the whole free-for-all convention from start to finish. Her and her husband. You know, Peace Wolf is a girl, and she's got a lovely white wolf-like fursuit. I don't really know too much about her, except for what she said, and one of the things that sort of, like, certainly raised my eyebrow was that she makes this arbitrary tweet where it's like, all lives matter, we should be aspiring to be colorblind, and, you know, aspire to colorblindedness so that people are not treated, you know, based on their skin color. And, not overtly problematic. The only issue with that statement is the fact that Black Lives Matter has been a presence on the political landscape here in the United States for a long damn time now, and, you know, you have a growing denomination of people that feel that they personally are being persecuted by either the local governments or the federal government at large, and that they're, you know, that's juxtaposed by a society that doesn't really take their problems seriously. Now, whether or not that you agree with Black Lives Matter and what they're all about is really, you know, it's really a choice for you to decide on. Like, something that you need to sort of do your own research, sort of cross-reference what they're claiming with, like, the data, and really hear some of their testimonials to get a sense about what they're all about. But, you know, for you to just come out and say, because it just feels like it was a setup to, like, that sort of situation. Somebody was saying something about Black Lives Matter, and that Peace Wolf happened to read that, and her rebuttal to that was, all lives matter. All lives do matter, but at the same time, like, there's a growing denomination of people that feel as though they are being persecuted by the system at large, you know? Maybe above what other people are experiencing. Because I'm sure, like, the system goes after everybody, but some people more than others. So, it's like, you know, if when you're in a room full of rape victims, the first thing that you don't do is make a rape joke, okay? Maybe it's a bad analogy. It's the first thing that came to mind. My apologies, but not really a subject matter for this particular video. Really, I encourage you all to do some investigation on your own time, you know, into Black Lives Matter, as well as the politics of today. Anyway, she said some, like, tone-deaf sort of things. That's the only thing that I see as maybe subtly problematic. But for the most part, it's really, I guess, comes down to her blocking people or her, like, you know, arguing people that seems to generate the most controversy here. What I will say is that Free For All as a convention, it's supposed to be standing for, like, you know, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and various other things, but ironically, a lot of people that were voicing their opinions about the convention had their comments removed from their site, or, you know, various other places, or completely just, you know, blocked. And they found it horribly ironic that a convention that is trying to get its, you know, foot in the door, like, to the furry fandom, trying to start something completely new, that standing for free speech and freedom of expression would not really seem to take seriously anybody that was, you know, voicing some due criticism toward it and its, like, you know, practices and policies, like, therein. Just seems horribly ironic, you know? Because that's what Free For All is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be a good old-fashioned American, like, furry convention that's upstanding for patriotic and nationalistic views, as well as the First Amendment and, like, freedom of expression, freedom of belief, freedom of choice, that sort of thing. But already, without even being initiated, they're already engaging in some questionable activities. I would say, like, you should be ready to accept criticism just as much as you're willing to accept praise, alright? Like, you should, your first, like, I guess, reaction to negative, like, criticism shouldn't be its outright removal. Like, you know, you should at least hear it out. If somebody's just being a troll, then they're being a troll. It's like, okay, whatever, fuck you, move on. But, like, if it's legitimate criticism or, like, concern, then you at least try to hear them out. Like, show that you acknowledge and that you give a damn about what they have to say. But, yeah. So some of the people that are administrating, I guess, the online activities of Free For All are doing some questionable things, but really it comes down to a lot of people just kind of shitting on the convention before it even got through the gate. And, like, a lot of people have been sort of doing, like, various things. Either they've been trying to accumulate as much information to share it with other people, or they have been actively trying to sort of sabotage the ability for the convention to take place to begin with. Whether or not these moves are right or wrong, it really comes down to some people having too much damn time on their hands, but at the same time, it's worth, like, at least noting that some of the people within the staff might not be upstanding furries. Granted, there's a, like, unilateral perception by a lot of the furry fandom that a lot of the people that are going to end up attending, you know, for Free For All are going to be alt-righters, Nazis, conservative furries, people that they don't personally like. So that's where all the hate is coming from. Whether or not this is a fair, like, sort of assessment for how the convention is going to take place, that really remains to be decided by you and various other people out there. If you feel strongly enough with that, I mean, it's, like, you know, your prerogative, but please, like, just hear my words and just accept them and acknowledge them for what they may be. Please do not bully, harass, or target any of these individuals, whether they be on right or left, or part of Free For All, or not part of Free For All. Just leave them alone, let them do what they're going to do, and you can just sort of be a passive observer in this crazy train as it unfolds, alright? Because we're going to be looking at a bunch of different things here. We're going to be looking at the website, we're going to be looking into the bio of Peace Wolf, we're going to be looking at various tweets that have been sort of disseminated across the World Wide Web. mostly on Twitter, but various things have sort of just taken place since a couple days ago. I didn't really come to learn about this until about a couple days ago, and it was just kind of like an eye-opener for me because I have been so fixated on the Christian and Bella controversies that this sort of just came up like out of the blue, and I was just like, oh wow, furry convention, okay, oh, because like I found out that a lot of people had saw it as an alt-right furry convention. A lot of people were comparing this furry convention to like a Trump rally. Now the problem is the Trump rallies actually drew in a lot of people. New furry conventions, they're lucky to break 1,000 to 1,500 to maybe 2,000 attendees at the first year. For instance, Rocky Mountain FurCon, like that convention that was canceled because of a combination of things, bad behavior on like some of the con staff and questionable behavior on some of the con staff, but also the efforts of Diotaz Devil and Boozy Badger inexplicably. That was like, I think the maximum attendance that was projected for that year was like 2,000 people. So it wasn't like a massive convention. It wasn't like Midwest Fur Fest or Anthrocon, but it was still sizable for that particular area. And it sucked when it went under because I don't think, like Furry Raiders, I think that maybe a maximum of like 20 would actually show up to a convention like that. Most of the people were just people that were local to the area or, I don't know, people that happened to feel strongly enough to attend it that they were coming from like over state lines, but I wouldn't think that the Furry Raiders numbers are that big. Granted, I don't know. I don't know the particulars of their particular organization. All I know is that Rocky Mountain FurCon, the perception was that that was sort of their stomping ground, and I'm not entirely sure if, Free For All is going to be like considered the next stomping ground for the like Furry Raiders. If you don't know who the Furry Raiders are, they're a bunch of edgelords and memesters that wear an auspicious armband. An auspicious armband that happens to be red with a white spot. Does that remind you of anything yet? It should, especially if you have historical context behind it. They use a paw print instead of a swastika, but still, it's sort of like teasing and flirting with the idea that it's a Nazi armband. As far as Furry Raiders go, the last major development about them is that Foxer was, if I remember correctly, indicted for grooming a minor, like online. And I think they might have actually gone to jail for that. I'm not entirely sure about that whole debacle, but I will say that it was kind of a shock, because apart from the fact that I always like perceived him as an agent of chaos, I didn't think he was really like that bad of a person, but shows how much I know, right? I have no idea what's happened with the Furry Raiders ever since then, because they're always like this band of like furries that are daredevils and anarchists and edgelords and memesters that people like to bitch about it, but like they never really seem to be doing much besides showing up occasionally at certain events and doing whatever. But anyway, that's not really something that we need to talk about in this video. They are but one part and parcel to like what people are claiming to be like the new attendees. Like they think that it's going to be a bunch of alt-righters, Nazis, and the Furry Raiders. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a break from this, and we're going to get back to it. But I wanted to share with you all the website, some Twitter messages, basically the series of communications over Twitter, and then we can meet back up for more commentary later. Shall we? Hey, we're back. So, this is obviously the Awoo Association, or Free For All website, if you prefer. Basically, their theme that they're going for this year is road trip. So, something new, and, it's wonderfully animated. Everything looks more or less what you would expect from a convention website. We're going to take a look at Awoo Association a little bit more closely, but for right now, I just want to focus on the convention at large. So, it's got stylish artwork up, 262 days, as I mentioned earlier, 8 hours, 35 minutes, 53 seconds, yada yada. So yeah, they basically posted this, and what I remember seeing on Twitter was basically, hey, spread the word, like a retweet would be appreciated. And then, the Twitter hate mod proceeded to basically rake it over the coals. Deservedly or undeservedly, it really depends on your point of view and what you see in this, but plenty of people that I am personally affiliated with have kind of retched at the idea of this whole thing, but I'm not entirely sure if it's based on secondhand accounts or their actual opinions, but yeah, let's just go ahead and look through this, shall we? What are these? Okay, so it's a nice little animation, Route 66. What's interesting is it's citing 3 different locations, so all the way on the west coast in, California, see, LA, all the way to San Bernardino, and, it goes all the way. We're going to look at a map later, I'm not sure where it goes, maybe all the way to Canada, for all I know. But it passes through a lot of these sort of central locations, the Midwest, all the way to West Coast, Midwest, and then up into the East Coast, sort of North New England area. But Tulsa, Oklahoma City is where it's supposed to be. Well, Tulsa is where it's supposed to be taking place. As you can see, 2 Griffin, he's supposed to be guest of honor, infamous, ranting comedian. Sure does rant a lot, but mostly about cancel culture these days. Wonder why. Yeah, so just proud to present a different kind of convention. Even though most furry conventions, while there's a certain... I wouldn't say the theme per se, but you sort of have a perception in your mind about a particular convention. For instance, MFF is kind of like the party con for me because a lot of room parties are available and you can meet a lot of cool people that way. Whereas Anthrocon is more of the family friendly, hey, let's go hang out with your friends and enjoy the sights and sounds of Pittsburgh while we watch the furry parade. Free for All 2022. Getting back to our roots. May 27th through the 29th, 2022. Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. And from Los Angeles to Tulsa to Chicago. I'm wondering if these are the 3 potential locations in the future that they're going to switch to LA or Chicago. I'm not entirely sure. Prepare for a classic road trip. Greetings from Route 66. They don't make things like they used to. This year, we're celebrating Anthro by getting back to our roots, where it all started, a love for animals. Whether you come from near or far, from Chicago or the LA side, join us on a road trip to the American heartland along the Mother Road, Route 66, for America's Anthro Convention in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And don't forget to take that left at Albuquerque. Could you imagine if this was a challenge? In order to actually legitimately get to the convention, you need to go start in LA, drive all the way to Oklahoma, Tulsa, and then end up in Chicago, just in time for MFF, so maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing. Alright, so here's sort of transitioning into 2 Griffin. Flapping his beak more than his wings. Originally an Oklahoma native, 2, the ranting Griffin will be returning to his roots in Oklahoma at Free For All 2022 to provide you with evenings of comedy and his trademark rants. Be sure not to miss out on a chance to meet and greet this community icon and attend a rare opportunity for one of his live shows. Pre-register for Free For All today. Also, be sure to pre-register and sign up for our premium add-ons for access to several additional exclusive events starring the infamous Griffin. 2, the ranting Griffin Matthew Davis crawled out from under a rock somewhere in the northwest Arkansas area in the middle of 1972. With a Christian family, he was always encouraged to be inspired by his intelligence and his passion upon which to focus his life. After an experiment in music turned to a vocal rant recordings published online, 2 was asked to perform comedy shows at a new and growing fictional-based fandom, the Furries, and within this fandom, and soon independently, he had performed live headline comedy shows all over the world. Having gained an appreciation for comedic discussion of culture, politics, and occasionally fart jokes, always classy, his comedic career in live comedy extended nearly 20 years. Unfortunately, in 2016, his excursion in comedy was considered canceled after being accused of being a homophobic, transphobic, misogynist, racist, Nazi, for the usual sin of publicly declaring a belief and passion for the concept of free speech. Since that time, 2 has continued to entertain his audience with a YouTube channel where he continues to upload rants, comedy segments, and commentary on another of his passions, video games. Something that just rubs me the wrong way, you didn't really have to bring that up. I brought it up for context for you all to be aware, but, I'm pretty sure that most of the furries are aware of 2 Griffin's existence. would already be fairly well aware of this. I haven't seen too much firsthand, like, evidence of this, but certainly some of the things that he said have been just tone deaf enough and maybe, like, just kind of ignorant to say that I wouldn't be surprised if somebody misconstrued him as that, but, like, give credit where credit is due. I think he's alright. Maybe a little alt-right. Okay, my apologies. What is an anthro convention? A celebration of all things furry. An anthro convention is a popular culture convention, except instead of being themed around comics or anime, anthro conventions are themed around animals. Do you enjoy mascots or cartoon animals? Then this is where you belong. An anthro convention is an occasion for anthro enthusiasts across the country to meet for celebration of anthro arts, culture, entertainment, and community. Expect vending games, dancing, and many new friends to meet. Okay. Let's see. Pre-registration pricing. $40. Not bad, as all things considered. 2022. Registration. $40. Basic registration required for entry to Free For All. Free For All 2022 badge. Access to all non-premium events. Available at the door for $50. Extra Fluff. Our premium add-on for our dedicated attendees. Get swag and extra perks. Free For All lanyard. I consider lanyards to be the big, bare bones basics of freebies at cons, so that doesn't really move me. Free For All 2022, 11 by 17 inch poster. Okay, we're starting to get into some, like, more decent territory. If it's, like, anything to go off of, like the artwork up, like, you know, further up, then I could get behind that. Premium event admission, live gaming session with 2 Griffin. Okay, unless we're going to play some, like, Super Smash Brothers or something like that, and I get some banter out of it, I don't know. Like, what kind of games does, like, 2 Griffin play? I have no idea about his gaming proclivities or interests, alright? But Super Smash Brothers, that'd be pretty hard, like, to pass up. If I got to beat him, that's bragging rights right there. Free For All 2022 t-shirt. Okay, like, t-shirt, alright. You know, for $10 more, like, hard to pass up. Available during pre-registry only. Guest of Honor VIP Pass. Alright, now we're seeing a significant jump from 50 to 90. Meet the infamous 2 Griffin and his exclusive content prepared for these special events and enjoy a superb meal courtesy of the Marriott. Well, if he can, you know, bypass the racism and misogyny, I can, you know, give it... Nah, I'm kidding. Okay, sorry. Premium event admission, story time with 2 Griffin and Free For All staff. Premium event admission, guest of honor dinner. Special catered meal for this event is included with this add-on. Available during pre-registration only. Okay, it's about what you would expect. Last day to pre-register is April 14th, 2022. That's pretty generous, all things considered. At the door, registration will be available with limited options and an increased price, as you've mentioned. Don't get stuck without a place to stay. Always plan your sleep stops before departing on a road trip. That includes your final destination. Your experience won't be complete without a room at the convention venue. Be sure to book one after registering and book through the Awoo Association for special discounted rates for the event. And just out of curiosity, let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Alright, so it's going to be taking place at the Marriott Hotel, Tulsa Southern Hills. And there's a little bit of a, like, recording blurb. Well, it's a good thing she was wearing a fursuit and, like, you know, swimsuit over top of that fursuit. Yeah, there was actually a promotional video released on YouTube that basically showcases all these fursuiters, so we'll watch that in a bit, but this is sort of giving the headlights of that. Pretty cool, though. The one thing that bothers me is that guy has been, like, perpetually sucking down on that fan ever since I saw him the first time. I'm sure it's hot, you know, in Tulsa, so I can't really fault him too much. Oh, hey, I pretend fell down because playful, and... You know, this isn't really, like, denigrating them, but something that bothers me is that he's wearing sneakers instead of, like, fursuit pobs. Anyway, yeah. Alright, so Marriott Hotel, Tulsa Southern Hills. Marriott's king or double queen rooms are available at discounted rates for free-for-all. You can sleep up to 4 people. Or multiply that by 2 and put 8 in that room to make yourself and your stay extra miserable. Book through the Awoo Association for a discounted rate of $115 a night. Not terrible, but I've seen better rates elsewhere. Welcome to Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. I've never really thought of Tulsa, Oklahoma as being like a prime stop on any like trip or journey, but you know. Okay, so is this home? No, it's just promoting education, arts, community, and culture. Awoo's many associates seek to bring our community together, local and global, for the betterment of each other. Learn more about Awoo. Okay. Something about the charity to mention is that supposedly the charity has been steeped in scandal in the past. I don't think that's accurate today, but it certainly doesn't paint a good picture for the charity that they chose to vouch for, you know? So we'll just take a quick look at the charity. Our charity, Safari Sanctuary. Safari Sanctuary has been in operation in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma since 1995. They provide a safe home to over 200 animals from a wide range of species, such as big cats, wolves, bears, foxes, farm animals, reptiles, birds, and more. The sanctuary is managed by volunteers of various ages and backgrounds. In order to prioritize focus on the happiness of the animals, the park is not currently open to the public. However, they do offer their signature Zoo to You program, which involves safaris bringing animals on site to educate people about their organization. Safaris relies on the generosity of people like you to continue their operations. All donations to the organizations are 100% tax deductible. More information about Safari Sanctuary can be found on their website. $2,500 raised for Safaris Inc. since 2020. What are their charity events? It just says COVID Creature Feature Online Auction, August 2020. Okay, we'll take a look at that a little bit more. I just want to learn a little bit more about Awoo before we continue. Let me see. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, it's not really telling me anything new that I haven't already seen, so we're just going to click on Awoo. Okay, as I mentioned before, Anthro West Open Organization. I guess they're trying to trademark Awoo. That's going to be kind of a big fuck you to the fandom, you know? Like, people like to say Awoo all the time. It's kind of a dumb joke at this point, but still, like, let the fandom have that. Who we are. The Awoo Association is a small social group of people founded in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. We are not just a chat room, we are a community, a non-profit Oklahoma incorporation, and federally recognized 501c3 public charity organization. Though we are largely made up of those that are particular to the furry fandom, our roots stem from our common desire to build a community, celebrating anthro arts and culture while also hosting charitable events. We believe the furry fandom is supposed to be one of the most loving and accepting communities in the world, and we plan to lead by example. Good luck. This organization is nonpartisan and supports no political or religious causes. Our mission is to build a community and host fundraising events that are welcoming and enjoyable to all, regardless of background. All species are welcome. Drama llamas excluded. You know, I have a character that I just call Drama Llama, and he is not going to be particularly happy to hear that. Want to be a part of it? Oh boy. Well, I'm just going to open that in a different link, put that over there. We're going to read that after here. What we do. Awoo is also more than just a convention organization. Free for All is America's anthro convention and our largest event. But beyond that, we are a community. Before Free for All, we were just a community of associates that volunteer to host gatherings and help with charity. We still consider that to be the core of who we are. We are a relatively small group, but together we can do things larger than ourselves. We invite you to visit us at Free for All, open to the public Memorial Day weekend, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. All charitable events and a portion of event proceeds benefit Safari Sanctuary, a local wildlife refuge. Please join us in donating and volunteering in person for safaris or your local wildlife sanctuary. Wherever you are, your community needs you. I really should be getting into some volunteer work and stuff like that, but I've just been so goddamn busy with everything. You know, work, 40 hours a week, plus commute time, so you can equate like several hours devoted to back and forth and stuff like that. Maybe I'm just rationalizing. Maybe I should make time. But yeah, I'll do some research. Where we are, Awoo is made up of several associates from across the country and even around the globe, and we invite all to come to our public events. Most of our events and activities are in South Central USA. We are incorporated in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, it stands to reason. See, like, okay, so there's other events. Wait. Become an associate. Welcome to the Awoo Association. This group operates primarily out of eastern Oklahoma and the surrounding area, but is open to anyone who would like to attend our events, volunteer to help put them on, and be a part of our community. The organization is nonpartisan and supports no political causes. Our mission is to build a community and host events that are welcoming and enjoyable to all, regardless of background. All species welcome. Drama llamas excluded. If you would like to be a part of it, please continue to the application. Interesting. I'm just morbidly curious now. First, something you should know. This isn't the cool kids table. We believe the furry fandom is supposed to be one of the most loving and accepting communities in the world, and we plan to lead by example. The Awoo Association is open to any friends who love our Oklahoma furry community but cannot abide by harassment, intimidation, lies, and ostracization of the other community members over petty differences between us. However, in an age when the popular thing to do is to bully and cancel others, this sometimes makes us unpopular. Please consider that being a part of this organization may bring some social stigma. All associates will be expected to show each other the same respect and kindness to each other and to the association, regardless of any social pressures to do otherwise. If this pressure to do the popular thing is too much, the Awoo Association may not be for you. If you understand this and still wish to be a part of the Awoo Association, please continue. Okay, I don't intend to, but let's just go ahead and look at this. Awoo is a community, not just a message board, and Awoo is also an incorporated organization, so we need just a little bit more information about who will be joining us. We are not strictly invite only, but we try to confirm that each new associate is known by at least one person in order to avoid issues with malicious actors, of which there are many, I'm sure. This information collected will not be used or redistributed outside of the Awoo's association leadership. Okay. So, legal first name, legal last name, preferred name handle, birthday, email address, Discord handle. What area are you from? And have you read the associate rules, name agreement, and non-disclosure agreement above? Is that it? Oh wait, sorry. These are probably going to get very long, so we're just at least going to scroll through it, okay? Like, otherwise this video would be way too long. Associate rules. This is an agreement between all the associates and non-disclosure agreement. I mean, they're taking it very seriously, and it seems like professional, but still, it's kind of weird. Alright, let's see. Oh, we get a document from Google Docs. Awoo Association Name Agreement. This document serves in place of an official trademark on the name Awoo Association, also known as Awoo Anthro West Open Organization, and any of its affiliate brands. Please read carefully and abide by it and its contents. Any violation of this document will result in legal action. A non-disclosure agreement? A cease and desist? Like, well, what are we talking about here? Alright, let's see. This agreement, the agreement entered into this day, December 2020, blah, 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 blah. There's quite a little bit here. So, if I dipped my hand in, like, red ink and signed with a thumbprint, would that be acceptable? No, I kid. Bad joke, bad joke. I'm referencing Rocky Mountain Furcon. And apparently, what was it? The Sovereign Citizen Movement, I guess you'd call that. Monthly mingle night. Monthly movie night. It seems pretty standard. I mean, I'm not saying anything too, like, out of the ordinary here. What I'm more interested in right now is the auction. Alright, we already read that. We already saw all that. Okay, like, let's see. Can we get some more information about... Let's see. Alright, let's look at free-for-all now. Like, the actual free-for-all. Because I want to see, like, what's in this, like, charity auction, you know? Because some people... Alright, let's watch that for a second. Free-for-all. I mean, that looked pretty professionally done, like, all things considered, but... So they're painting themselves as some sort of, I don't know, like, a patriot convention? Like, you know, you see, like, the red, white, and blue, and, you know, the stripes and stars. Alright, let's see. Stage events, panels. Let's look at some of the panels. Okay, we can't see the panels. Check our event schedule. We're going to take a look at the event schedule. We admire your enthusiasm, but... Oh, they're putting it together still. Well, then what about, you know, how would you say? Attendance policy. That'll be important. All attendees must be 18 years of age or older to attend this event, no exceptions. To receive your badge and attend the event, all attendees of Free-for-All will be required to present a single government-issued photo ID at registration, which clearly states that their legal name, date of birth. Examples of valid photo identification include photo ID issued by DPS or DMV office, blah, 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 blah. Convention attendees must wear their official convention badge at all times. Okay, that's fine. Like, this is pretty boilerplate right here. Behavior. Public displays of affection more extreme than hugging, backscratching, or similar. They're prohibited in a public area? So you mean to tell me that if I wanted to give my crush a quick peck on the cheek and they were fully consenting with that, that would get me yelled at? Excessively loud volumes. Alright, we don't want any public nuisances. Use of portable speakers. What? Portable speaker, like, wow, you're killing the party already. Being disrespectful of hotel staff or damage to hotel property. Pretty standard. Sleeping. What? It just says sleeping. Do you mean sleeping in like a common area, like where people are walking? I can understand that, but like just sleeping. You're not allowed to sleep at an event. Get out. Be a little bit more specific. Consumption of alcoholic beverages anywhere other than hotel-approved areas. I don't like that. I like the idea of, like, as long as you're within the hotel and you're within range of, like, the bar, or how, like, even in, like, the, you know, the main area, you can, like, sip on your beer or something like that. Display of any adult-themed subject matter. Need clarification. Running, skateboarding, or use of hoverboards or wheeled footwear or similar. Oh man, I can't break out my Heelys and act like I'm a 2000s kid. Oh man. Operating drones or radio-controlled flying devices. How about outside? Throwing objects. Yeah, that's pretty standard. I wouldn't want, like, a baseball shoved in my face. Selling goods or services outside the commerce area specifically designated by Free-for-All. Yeah, that's problematic. Any attendees engaging in behavior which endangers life or property will have their badge revoked immediately and may be barred from future events organized by Awoo. Okay. Unauthorized commercial photography or video coverage is prohibited in the main space. Videography and photography may be freely used for personal, nonprofit, or purposes. Please contact us for commercial media requests. All attendees taking video or photography must ask others for permission before taking photos or videos they are subjected in. Dress code. Any attire worn in the hotel's public areas must maintain a PG-13 rating, regardless of the age requirement of attendees. Attendees must wear appropriate attire up to including opaque shirts, pants, shorts, and footwear. No weapons are permitted at Free-for-All. All fake or piece-bonded props for use as part of a costume must be approved by Free-for-All before being shown in public. Additional prohibited items include but are not limited to silly string, paintball guns, water guns, or any similar devices. That sucks. Water guns are pretty cool. Wearing sexual paraphernalia or fetish gear is prohibited in public areas. Not something that I saw at MFF. Well, like the prohibition, I mean. I saw plenty of people wearing some fucking fetish gear. Exceptions to the PG-13 and paraphernalia rules may apply to events in clearly marked areas only. Alright, venue rules and local laws. What about COVID-19? All attendees and staff are required to follow all local ordinances and all rules put in place by the venue. Please consult your local physician about the best way to protect yourself and your health while attending an event such as Free-for-All, and be courteous of all other attendees who are trying to protect themselves as well. Okay. I'm still disappointed that I haven't been able to see the charity auction stuff. But maybe we're going to find that soon. We're going to keep looking, okay? Let's see. Our charity, we already saw that. Alright, so this is pretty much all about Free-for-All and all that stuff. The schedule is not available yet, so we don't know about all of their things. Actually, before we continue, I didn't see any information about Peace Wolf. but we're getting a little bit too far ahead of ourselves. Oh, shit! 1 second. I know I had Peace Wolf's Twitter up just like a second ago. Okay, there it is. So, this is Peace Wolf, you know, free for all, 2022. Please do not bully, dox, or attack this person in any way, okay? Like, please. That's not my interest here. My interest is simply reporting on the news here, what I perceive as internet news. Alright, so this is her Twitter. Seems pretty innocuous, although, you know, the whole theme of Peace Wolf, the fedora's kind of bugging me a little bit. They're a girl, from what I understand. They're married. They're conservatarian, apparently. They're a Twitch affiliate, and they're safe for work. You know, no exceptions, I guess. Their icon was drawn by that person, and yeah, everything seems to be in order there. Alright, let's see. I'm pre-registered. Are you? Well, considering that you were the driving force behind this, from what I can tell, yeah, shocker. Honored guest to Griffin. I don't really know anything about Peace Wolf, but let's just scroll through their tweets, see if there's anything that stands out. Help Happy Sap finally move out. Happy Sap, huh? Busy at the moment. Me. I prefer mangoes to oranges. Random person. So basically what you're saying is you hate oranges? You also fail to mention pineapples, bananas, and grapefruits. Educate yourself. I'm literally shaking right now. Okay. I've seen situations like that, but I don't... Let's just click on that real quick. Can't decide what's worse, Twitter or Tumblr. Well, Tumblr's become defunct ever since they killed the pornography industry there, so... Basically the same thing, literally shaking. I am so confused and crying right now. I can agree with that. Yeah, I'm just... Okay. Nothing... Oh, I actually wanted to show you all something. This is an interesting comic. Behold, the alt-right has shown itself. They want to oppress us all. Hey, FurCon over there, all are welcome. Yeah, check it out. What's this? Looks fun. We should check it out. No, don't talk to them. They are evil racists who only spew lies. They'll take your babies. They'll eat your babies. Really? Sounds scary. Implying that furries can actually have babies because they're all fucking gay fur fags. Party. Screw it. I'll go check it out anyway. Don't! They're fascists, white supremacists. Yeah, okay, I want to see it for myself. I forbid it! Right. I forbid it. Hola. Welcome to the con. Enjoy yourselves. Awesome dance. So glad we checked it out. I'm leaving too. You're all fascists, bigots, capitalists. You notice he just keeps repeating himself? I'm out of here. They're all Nazis. A very drastic oversimplification of the situation at hand, but alright. I kind of like the comic style, but it's very, like, early 2000s-ish. I'm more used to the shiny, like, very in-your-face, like, modern digital artwork, but, So, just the thing, here at 10 p.m. Eastern. Space chicken, huh? You're not a Navali, sir. Alright. So let's just take a glance at Two Griffin real quick. Anti-communist. Anti-woke. Love my country. Stand-up comic. YouTube gamer. Ham and Pants. What the fuck is Ham and Pants? Anthro. Subscribestar.com. To The Ranting. Patreon.com. Ranting G. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I thought that was a bee for a second. That's just a moth. Wait, maybe it's a bee moth. Maybe it's like a hybrid between a bee and a moth. Oh god, I've seen this style before. I need to look at this guy. This guy is not really related with all this. Racism will not be tolerated in this fandom. Free candy, huh? To be fair, a lot of furries have been exposed for being pedo bears and fucking zoophiles. I've been desensitized ever since the Kira the Wolf debacle, so... Okay, whatever. The number of people calling me gay, Jewish man, and a Nazi homophobe for saying I wanted to go to a con is pretty disgusting. I had the pleasure of seeing Peace Wolf. She's a precious being and has been so fun to be around. I'm so glad that she's been there for me. And there's some people, you know. I think that's Peace Wolf. Oh shit, I just realized that we're back on Peace Wolf's, channel. Anyway, so just some tweets that I noticed that they're not involved in this. This is what I was talking about before. Fairly innocuous seeming tweet, but, you know, I can see why this would generate some, I guess, friction with some people, because, like, the All Lives Matter thing, I guess it really depends on the people that you're talking to, or if you're just parading this or whatever, but this caused some people to kind of either turn their heads and just be like, huh? Or, you know, get kind of annoyed with Peace Wolf. Annoyed's probably a gentler word than what actually happened, but the outrage mob is certainly out there in force, and they're going to tell you, you know, some things. There's only one race, the human race. I've never believed any different. I've seen in my entire life, and I think some people were arguing about that with them. While all lives matter, we need to focus on making sure Black lives matter. All lives can only matter when Black people are treated as human. Until then, we need to fight for racial equality and take a stand against racial injustice. What evidence is there to suggest they aren't being treated as human? There's evidence to support the fact that a lot of people are being mistreated right now, but, you know, denying that racism exists, I gotta say, I'm really sad to see someone I looked up to for many years turn out this way. I wish I had the rest of this conversation, to be honest with you. So, as you can see, Peace Wolf has gotten a bad rap. Will we find intelligent life? Could it be right here on Earth? Could it be this man? Woman? I'm not racist, but I mean, the search continues. So a little bit of, like, bigotry on their part, but whatever. It's not supremely problematic, but I'm showing you all of the things that people are outraged by. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the tweets. You know, various screen caps I've taken throughout, you know, my time on Twitter. You're just trying to soak all this in and try to register it all, like, you know, in a timely fashion. Ghost of a Tale. This is Minecraft. Oh, great. I kind of wish I just, you know, kept going instead of coming back to Griffin, but here we go. Why are we in this crazy time? Because no one voted for Joe Biden. No one wanted Joe Biden. Instead of voting for Biden, they were voting against Trump. Whoever you vote for, nothing could be worse. You're going to find it. I hope people learn from this. And... Wait, what? So it's sporadically about their gaming channel, some political commentary, and some other things. But I have to say, far less overtly problematic than some of the tweets that I've seen from 2 Griffin in the past, you know? That's just a cursory glance of their more recent tweets, so it's not really my business to say one way or the other until, like, something truly problematic comes out, but... they're just a boomer. A lot of boomer humor here. Yeah, this picture is getting a lot of attention. This is me and Peace Wolf Actual, someone else who was buried by social media accusations. Well, I'm not a coward. I met her, and she's become a good friend of mine. Match made in heaven. My question is, like... Whoa. I didn't need to see that. Oof. Alright, we're moving on. I'm not seeing a whole lot behind Peace Wolf that is, like, incredibly, like, you know, problematic. You know, a couple tweets here and there, maybe a conversation or two, but I guess it's really time to, like, sort of see the hateocracy. The people that are, you know, swearing up and down that free-for-all should not happen as a convention, and that the people organizing the event, of which I only really know about Peace Wolf, I don't know their husband too well, I don't know, like, what other members of their staff, besides the people that you saw that picture earlier. I guess it's just, you know, it's just time to move on, shall we? Hey, we're back. So before me is some material that I collected off of Twitter, and if you're wondering what these all are, these are basically screen caps. I know that usually I just play these as a montage and put some catchy music behind, but let's just sort of go through some of these, shall we? So let's see. If it's free-for-all, why can't I use my right to free speech in the replies? A fair point. Let's see. Should I start from the top? Alright, so this Alley Caps girl, the only thing that bugged me about them is the fact that, like, they sarcastically preface all of their messages by saying, "Oh no, I tried not to do this," or, "Oh wow, how'd this happen?" And, like, for a first few times, it's, like, kind of catchy, but if you do that with every single fucking tweet, that kind of bugs me after a while, because it's, like, it gets flat, boring, and old. Anyway, oh no, I tried to not post these pictures, including those that threaten things like violence and calling Nazi uniforms cool, and also generally being racist and anti-vax, but my finger just slipped. A lot of their messages take that sort of slant, and it's like, fine, okay, haha, it was funny the first 3 times, but every tweet. Anyway, let's take a look at what she dropped, shall we? So this is presumably from a Twitter chat room, like a Telegram chat room, I should say, and, like, posted to Twitter. Huh, what a loser. Literally came in just to block people. Nerd. Proud Boy shot up somebody's car, they probably deserved it. Thus far, they sadly hadn't shot up someone's car, because good Christ, that needs to happen. Already we're off to a good start here. If you're gonna blame the Proud Boys, you have to blame Antifa too. Takes 2 to have a shootout. That'd be an interesting pay-per-view event. Proud Boys, Antifa in the ring. Nah, authoritarians are max gay. Pretty sure all socialists suck, nationalists or otherwise. Nazis are socialists and socialists suck. Although if you make me choose one socialist or the other, I'm taking Nazis over Antifa. The fuck? Nazis have way, way, way hotter uniforms. Better uniforms. Oh, you beat me to it. Let's face it. Like, if you're going to lose a war, badly lose a war, may as well look like $1 million doing it. Okay. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Translation. It is as bad as we thought. Some Chinese guy staring at a screen, confused. How many hotel room this American have? He been to 10 already. That was some low quality shit posting. It really was. Like, dude, just posted pics of old men with no shirts, not even porn. Hey, at least he kept it safe for work. Trolling while following the rules. Honestly, if he would have went to Spider-Man shit posting, I would have given him a round of applause. Alright. This is giving me flashbacks to the 2016 days. You should check if you have Twitter. The hilarious that leftists are calling this NaziCon when leftists-run conventions won't let you in without vaccine papers. They might as well tell unvaxxed people to wear a yellow star. Was banned from the group for not having a username. Damn, what's with the sudden influx? Now it works. Didn't auto-ban that first spammer. Kenny Lupine. That guy I talked about. Kenny Lupine's an interesting fellow. And by interesting, very controversial. But that was from the before times. Let's see. Oh. You've already seen that. Alright, well, you know, thank you for posting some inside scoop. I'm kind of surprised that it was as bad as they said it was, but whoops, I accidentally dropped the contact information for the convention's hotel and charity. I hope nobody uses this for some reason. I do want to check out that charity. I heard it was questionable at the best. My goodness, how did all of this proof that Peace Wolf and her husband run a Awoo association end up here? That was the general vibe I was getting, you know. Peace Wolf wouldn't be this prolific character if they weren't at the very least, tangentially related to Furry for All, but I'm not understanding the whole hateocracy surrounding them, besides maybe not bending the knee to, like, the mob. Less sarcasm this time, but a serious moment. Here's a lot more information. Oh, fuck, I didn't take the rest of that screen cap. I didn't think it was important at the time, but... Okay, so there's this this was translated from Spanish, apparently. Okay, that's interesting. Haha, that's great. A group of furries are called the Anthro West Open Organization. They're called Awoo. Yeah. They put a Nazi acquaintance's guest of honor. Nazi acquaintance. Haven't seen too much from 2 Griffin, besides him ranting and raving about cancel culture. Apparently these people are trying to trademark Awoo and it's filled for a patent. Found this document where you should sign up and join them. There's also an NDA. Yeah, we already covered that. LOL, patent? No, they should mean trademark. Also, I'm pretty sure Noob the Loser has been using the term earlier, considering he's got a comic called Awoo. May Anthro West fail. Aw. Us furries can smell an anthro personified animal from miles away. He has no chance. Furry and Republican. I'm incredibly racist. Okay. I'm Skabibbles, the cute and fluffy wusky. I love tummy wubs and snuggles. Fuck brown people, though. Whoa! That's... Okay. Jesus Christ. Can someone fish out the voice acting for this one? It's hilarious. That made me grimace a little bit. Furries be like, oh no, he's cute. That's not right. He's racist. No. Both. Miro. Very, very confident and brave of you to admit that out loud. So crazy to me how the people who come onto Twitter and pretend to be cartoons and animals have this much discord for zero reason. This will make a good reaction image someday soon. And just like that, I am officially lost. Me making fun of this convention for a con. Okay, let's see. Most Republicans I know. I'd take a bullet for my country. Bitch, you won't even take a needle for your neighbors. Sit down. I'm sorry, but how is that me getting shot going to protect others around me when those who are vaccinated can still contract the virus as much as the unvaccinated person can? 60% less likely to get COVID and 85% likely to be hospitalized from it with a vaccine is a bit undifferent from the around 98% of catching it unvaxxed. Tell me the origin for this, please. I desire to know. The original bottom text said, I get more tail than you can imagine. Which, lol, furry and moderate. I'm... blank. Gay. Very correct. Very epic. Very based. I don't even know what free-for-all is, and I'm glad I don't. Rant Sonas be like... Okay. Freedom. That is an ugly hippie. That gray girl looks like an underage cousin. I don't know why, but I kind of like that image right there of that lion guy. Like, why is he in that pose? And why does he look so determinedly confident as he's, like, staring at the viewer? Let's see. Did he retweet? Okay, so, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna, like, make a montage with all these tweets. But, you know, I just figured we'd go through the highlights. Let's see. We need to be thinking of people less connected than we are. People who are vulnerable and are seeking to belong anywhere that can accept them. Why else do you think they use flowery language like, we accept people from all walks of life and shit like that? So yes, don't feed the algorithm. But also, yes, use your fucking platform. Make sure this doesn't become someone's gateway into furry because, Jesus fucking Christ, that is not a good community to start on. Having them as a guest of honor is all the confirmation that is exactly as you say. Things I wake up to. Free-for-all is off to a great start. You will not spy on my free-for-all chat. I will make sure you are chased out of every chat I find you. Fucking faggot, do yourself a favor and kill yourself like a tranny. You're a marked man, you Antifa piece of shit. If we ever meet, I'll leave you lying and leaking where I see you. Holy shit, what the fuck? Okay, edgy tween. If it's free for all, why can't I use my right to free speech in the replies? It's going to be a con full of people like this. Real life isn't Twitter. You should probably say this to the dudes threatening to kill someone for trolling a stupid chat con, bro. LOL. Iron Fluff. I guess that was the person that was giving them the hate speech and, like, you know, basically telling them to kill themselves. Still pretty fucked. I mean, if you're like a, you know, like a con chairman, or maybe you're part of the con staff, you're obligated to act as professionally online as you are at the con, you know? Lest you have negative publicity like this. I mean, what did people expect from a con receiving harassment and bomb threats? Open arms? It's not a good idea to be more evil than which you are to hate. Alright, so now we're getting some dialogue here. If you don't want to receive harassment, don't have open bignets and send unsolicited death threats to people because they join your channel. I mean, I might have spammed pics of dead concentration camp guards to Clyde once, but that was funny and I was drunk. Okay, that's a little bit morbid, but whatever. Not sure if this dude is actually linked to the con or not, but people have been harassing and threatening the con is not a good look. Seems like people are playing with fire and getting burnt. So you're defending them. Not a good look. I've just been seeing absolute nutjobs going off the handle over this con, giving it free publicity. Bruh, why does it sound like a low-level Five Nights at Freddy's... Wait, Fallout New Vegas character sent to you to inform you that your faction doesn't like you, LMAO. Sig is the courier after hitting max level. I'm just like, who sends death threats then blocks you? That is pretty weird. Sig, you don't get it. It's a statement. They had to block you. If you replied to them, you'd ruin the big moment for them. It's this dude! Alright, let's remember which, like, number this is. This is 2021, 9, 5, 16, 13, 06. We will come back to that. But I did download this, so... February 24th. Wow, this is a while ago. So, how you gonna take revenge, baby? Come on, tell me what you're gonna do, fellow fur fag. You gonna shoot some shit up? Make some IEDs? Fight the cops? Come on, man. Like a hard-charging, motivated fucker like you has got any plan to get those politicians swinging from lampposts already? You also gonna kick off that race war as well, homie? Make people pick cotton and shit? Give me the fucking deets, baby. Revenge is best served cold. You're also glowing. Come on, let's go. Give me the fucking deets, baby. I want to pick your political plans apart like you're some fucking dumb boot fresh off the ground SOI. I'm not gonna breach OPSEC to be some fucktard who messed with me out of the blue. Oh boy, we got some real internet tough guys out tonight. Damn. Alright. I think we left off here. A little bit after that. I think we left off here. So, we already read that. I should have just scrolled right so we wouldn't have had to lose our place, but certified bra moment. Jesus Christ, though. This is... Alright. Don't threaten me with a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time. Okay. Siggy, infiltrating, ready and waiting for a good time. Aw, that's a cute box. You're doing God's work. Oh shit, Kenny was shit-talking you somewhere in their public little chat too. They seem angry. Have you asked if they'd like a hug? Maybe their parents are hitting them. It almost has to be something. Sorry you have to deal with these types anyway. Completely sane and normal behavior, LMAO. Reds can make good cardboard cutouts. What? Oh, also, I use red as a blanket term. The distinction between socialist, demsoc, liberal, progressive, communist, and narco-communists don't really mean anything, so I lump them together. Ah, now I know where I've seen you. How about you fuck back off to whatever Fox or Raider denominated shithole you crowd out of? The other non-reds? I'm not around them specifically. Good. Either way, I'll help you get out of MySpace too. Grow up and get some life experience. Then maybe we can come back to this. Both are cringe and have their own big guys. Problem is... Wait, what? Have their own big guys. Problem is the other folks' big guys were not really that visible. Achoo, pepper, politically correct coyote. Cough, rowley. Holy fuck. He's compensating for something. Alright, now it's just starting to get soupy-loopy here. He's compensating for something. Bruh. It's gonna be a good time. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. LMAO. Can you imagine being this weak to make empty threats like that? What a tough guy. What a psycho. If it's free for... Well, we already heard that. 2 people I followed Piss Wolf's rant account. They've been unfollowed. I don't give a shit anymore. Gonna do a blockchain for everyone following it too. Private reply. Tell me your secrets. It's okay. You can really tell the quality of a furry group based on the art, and this is screaming 90s VHS Disney knockoff in a big way. I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, I'm starting to get signs that some of the people behind it aren't exactly good upstanding furries, but I can appreciate the artwork. I knew I've seen that aesthetic somewhere before. You nailed it. I can't wait for Free For All convention to be a massive failure like Rainforest. Was it poopy diaper furs that ruined Rainforest? This tweet was deleted by the tweet author. There's nothing in any of their promo material supporting Trump, MAGA, or anything remotely related. Where are people getting the idea it's a Trump con? Well, considering the fact that we've gotten a glimpse of activity inside of the main convention chat room, yeah, considering some of the things I've read here, that's small potatoes compared to like what I'm sure is actually happening right now. So, yeah. Where did they get that idea? I don't know. It's a mystery, man. You know, it's possible to support freedom without supporting Trump, right? Read the chat. Everyone's mad about Free For All, but I'm excited for the internet historian down the rabbit hole on it after something awful happens to the con. Oh, man, do you think I should, like, try to attend the convention and be, like, a pseudo-internet journalist type? Like, maybe dress up in, like, a brown suit and act like I'm there for the convention, but I'm also there to, like, take videography and get some, like, you know, like, footage. And if anything crazy happens, I'll be there. But maybe I should, I don't know, protect myself in some way. This whole free-for-all thing has me really confused. Jesse McUSA pants. You're cool. Being a furry is all about the freedom to express yourself. Here's a furry-themed con. I mean, to be fair, this is 90% of how I noticed, like, something about free-for-all. But at the same time, I already saw some material that, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's definitely a little fire here. Just a little bit. It's not freedom, but freedom. Like this. I didn't click that. Freedom only if you agree with Trump. Since when did Daddy Trump bring freedom? Like, he brought complacency, but I don't know about freedom. Read into it. Not sure where is find it. Mind sharing a link. What the fuck kind of English is that? Read into it. Free For All has strict 18 plus age restriction, but it says anything against adult themes if a shirt says fuck and kissing. Seems they are really saying they welcome pedos, but want to make their conservative Christians happy. Also, this feels really fucking ableist against ND folks, since we're often seen as childish when we are just excited or overstimulated. Also the no PDA above seems pishy, like they put it specifically so they don't see gay kissing. At your real age. So when you say ND, what does that ND mean? ND folks. Because I'm thinking, like, my mind instantly goes to, like, autism or, like, you know, Asperger's syndrome. Alright. This is just the RNC, but with the fursuits, LMAO. What's RNC? Oh, like, is that, like, are they referring to, like, Republican National, like, party or something like that. Let's see, RNC. Republican National Committee. Oh, I guess it is. I can't wait to go to Free For All. Free For All. And that's, if you can't tell because it's too small, that's supposed to be a Trump rally. LMAO, their bio for GOH2 Griffin. I already read that. Yep, I already read that. Ranting to Griffin was never funny. It's true. His stand-up was always garbage. Is it a bad con? I'm confused a bit here. It just feels very dishonest to obfuscate one's blatant political partisanship through a facade of less controversial symbols and phraseologies. If you want to sell me the Republican convention, just say it openly in honesty. Don't don't dance around it with innuendos and platitudes. That was a lot of big words, but I see where you're coming from. Interested to see who attends. I know a few okay furries. I just like honesty and being sold something. If you want to give me a parlor with furries running around, just say so. Don't bring patriotism and empty symbolism into one's personal strifes and petty individual squabbles with the community at large. Cartoon for Project Lincoln. The GQP are acting like a bunch of wild animals. You know, I found this kind of weird. Wait, like, can we... I want to zoom in on that. Hang on. So obviously we got Trump, but Trump's not wearing a fursuit or anything like that. He's just looking like the annoying orange. But Getz... I just like Getz over here. He's just like, yeah, I can really be myself in this fursuit. And Cruz is looking kind of uncomfortable to be there, but he's trying to force himself. Granted, he always kind of looks like that when he tries to smile. Don Jr., I thought that was a massive sulk, but apparently he's got like a small, very small, uncertain, like, you know, smile there. So, okay. But the only person here legitimately having any fun is this dude. And Bobert, okay, like, she gets to be... See, this looks too perfect. Whoever drew this, they need to be like a furry or something. Script a bean. Okay, well... I guess that was perfectly timed. Alright, random internet users just trying to be comedic. Apollo, the gift of prophecy. Ronald Reagan furry wolf costume, mint condition, $2,300. Wow, this furry convention looks great. And it's another Trump rally. No, wait, never mind, sorry. It's a Reagan versus Bush, like, you know, campaign slogan thing. Honestly, just seeing the American flag tells me everything I need to know about that group. It's the rights pronouns in the bio version. When a furry is escorted out by a cat girl, freedom ain't not free. It's weird, but the concise language gives me 90s furry vibes. I thought the same thing. Yeah, no, hard pass. If that's true, then it will be quite the party. Please tell me it's not the Griffin. I am thinking of who appeared in a YouTube video that with telephone a while back. That's the guest of honor. If you're a conservative, you're not a furry. I refuse the association. Oklahoma be like. I want to go just to be a troll. Dangerous thinking. America. Sounds okay. I'll wear my Richard Nixon skin suit to it. Ah, yes, the original furry convention. Reaganomics? What's this, Awoo? Luan Contra affair? OVO. Hey, liberals. Triples your national debt. To be fair, Reagan did do that. Please tell me they won't be enforcing mask mandates. Oh my god, I want this to be true train wreck, bodies and all. Oh fuck, that's going a little bit too far. I hope it'll be a trash event. They deserve the worst, LMAO. Okay, you can shit on the event, but don't wish for dead bodies, goddamn. Why do they deserve the worst? When are we getting an Israel flag fursuit? I guess we can expect to see a lot of those there talking about their greatest ally. Make America furry. Yeah, it's hosted by that MAGA Oklahoma wolf. The MAGA Oklahoma wolf. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the like side of like Peace Wolf. So they were openly supporting Trump and the MAGA movement. Let's see, we already read that. I can't wait to go to free-for-all. We already read that. Anyone else notice the free-for-all is taking place in Tulsa and ends 2 days before the anniversary of the Tulsa massacre? Not just me, right? I've heard of this, but I haven't looked into it yet. Nope, not just you. Very convenient timing, though. Really not obvious. Sort of the RNC originally planning to hold their Here's Old Donnie Con in Jax on the anniversary of Axe Handle Saturday. It's all a nod and a wink towards some very dangerous people. In before peeps come out like, LOL, rent-free, libtard, it's just Memorial Day weekend, cause America. Insert comment about coincidence that Memorial Day happens to be falling on Tulsa Massacre, but whatever. I'm willing to bet the bulk of the people going to these sorts of things that shame people online for having fun on Memorial Day weekend. Indeed, though I fail to see how this con could possibly be fun. Sitting in a room awkwardly and shouting like grievances at each other doesn't sound like a good time. Listening to the same joke over and over also sounds dull, though they will delude themselves. Or this will likely go down like DashCon, or worse than TaniaCon. Or better yet, Rainforest. I forgot about that. They should probably, like, it ain't just you. I haven't commented on it because I've been distracted. They should probably rebrand it to Fur Seasons, but yeah. I doubt the Fash Furs are smart enough to have done that intentionally. Honestly, same, but you never know. I can't help but think that anyone who actually attends Free-for-All will be wearing shirts like these. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom in. And thankfully it's still, legible. Hey, Snowflake, in the real world, you don't get a participation trophy. Not everybody is a winner. There aren't no safe spaces. Screaming doesn't make you right. No one owes you anything. Crying doesn't solve problems. Nothing is free in this world. People are going to say things that you don't like, and you are not special. I can agree with some of those statements to certain people, but it really depends on the circumstances of that person. If you're just a spoiled idiot, then yeah. But there are some people that have had to cope with some pretty problematic things over the course of their lives, and that's probably not the best opening line to share with them. Also, why the fuck are you wearing it on a shirt? Like, is your intended audience the people that's standing behind you in line to McDonald's? I say God bless America. I drink beer, eat meat, and salute our flag and thank our troops. What else do you do that's American? How do you contribute to the betterment of America besides those things? I am an asshole. I love freedom, drink beer, and I love my nurse wife. Okay, that's not really... This doesn't really speak to patriotism for me, but alright. Let's zoom out. Screaming doesn't make you right. Screamed while crying and insisting that they're right. I don't really get performance art. Wouldn't it be easier on wording to just have the word twat on the shirt? Sends the same message in my opinion. Agreed. You'd think with a name like Free-for-All, it'd be a communist convention, lol. Who's excited for Free-for-All? Oh god. I don't know if you guys remember Charlottesville, but I do. And yeah, they had some good old fun down there with their tiki torches. Not sure why tiki torches, but it certainly ruined the image of tiki torch after that. Although somebody decided to put little outlines of furries around them. Alright. Wait. Hang on. What logo is that? Okay, so I'm a VR chat user, and for a second there, I thought that was a Unity, symbol. But I guess not. It's like the proto-Unity symbol. I'm just like, wait, what? Maybe it's a massive conspiracy. The fucking racists have infiltrated VR chat. They're slowly subverting the youth. Uh-oh. Did I find information that shows Peace Wolf's husband, Foxglove, is also working for the convention and has shared homophobic and anti-LGBTQ sentiments in the past? Okay. Wait, if it's free-for-all, why is there a registration fee? Oh, get out of here with that. You can't... Oopsie doodle. See, that's the only thing that bugs me about this person, is they keep doing the whole, oh, how could this have happened? I don't know why, it just started to bug me after the first three. Oopsie doodle, it seems that Free For All still has a hotel blacklisted on its site, so the hotel manager might have lied during his statement. It'd be a shame if their phones rang off the hook today asking about that. And their entire thread is that way, by the way. Free For All 2022. An apolitical furry convention whose members defend murderer Kyle Rittenhouse and rail about the Jews. I'm obligated to read this, I suppose. I've read everything else so far. Polybun. Yeah, that really was. Throwing Kyle under the bus after all their talk was not only a dick move, but flat out wrong. And it's painfully obvious why. Company owned by Jews won't support the kid that defended himself from Jews. I don't think that's an accurate portrayal of what happened, but let's just move on. No, Free For All shouldn't be allowed to happen. Fuck your tolerance of literal Nazis and pedophiles. That's a you problem. And I'd rather be on the side that wants to expel these pricks than the side that wants to live and let live. Y'all are weak. Okay there, Mr. Internet Tough Guy. Let's see you kick them all out. Large gay dog. Not very specific. Nazi first, fuck off. I've seen that a couple times. Okay, we'll just make a different fandom. Then you won't have to expel anyone. What part of Nazi first fuck off do you not understand, trash? Find a bunker and follow your leader. Okay there, Internet Tough Guy. Looking at Free For All's website, the use of scare quotes here is so funny. I mean, like, I've seen it so often that I just kind of, like, show me the beef. Okay, where's the beef? I've already seen what was happening in, like, the con chat room, so we know that something's going on in there, but gives me big Lionel Hutz making air quotes vibes. Furries are still salty about Free For All existing because they're not COVID woke. Ministry of Otaku. Holy shit, there's a ministry now? I see you were at that... I see you were at the all-conservative Furry Con. The ventilator inflates you, making you big and round. Oh god, get out of here with that. We don't need any more Diesel Raccoon. His time is over. His time in the sun is done. Is that why he called it Conservative FurryCon? Yeah, also because Ranting Griffin is the guest of honor. Thankfully, I don't know who that is. There's like a musician online that reminds me a lot of like the look that 2 Griffin has right now. And I don't know, I forget like the name, but there's certainly some vibes I'm getting from this picture. Holy shit, is this the real Wilford Brimley? Check your blood sugar, check it off. Why, give me a Philly sub steak sandwich or I'll shove my hand in your mouth and assimilate you. Here, Liberty Mutual, there's something I gotta tell you. I like corn dogs. Of course it's some pervert going on. About... okay, let's read this from the beginning. In memory of the late Wilford Brimley. Of course it's some pervert going on about their inflation fetish. Diabetes. It's actually a joke at one of the extreme right-wing furs going to this con. Extreme. Okay. Like, all of this hate levied at the convention, I get it, okay? Like, this few screen caps that have leaked out from, like, their Telegram chat room, there's clearly some bad hombres in there, okay? Some hombres in there, but, you know, I'm not seeing a whole lot from Peace Wolf besides maybe some tone-deaf responses and some minor arguments, but... And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend them anymore. Like, I'm not trying to defend them, but, like, I'm also not seeing, like, a whole lot problematic coming from them. But, besides maybe the MAGA thing, but that's really a choice of your political denomination, right or left. I'm on the fence, so call me Switzerland. Honestly, we got fake furries attacking the furry community since we know they began attacking the real furries, which I figured out why they're attacking a real furry convention made for real furries by real furries. Did you, like, sort of proofread that tweet before you sent it out? Yeah, it's not like it's literally linked to zoophiles, pedophiles, and literal, let me guess, Nazis. Oh, fuck. I didn't... See, if they sort of just, like, tone out, I just stopped, like, recording. I kind of wish it didn't, but whatever. So I actually looked at the Free-For-All website, and it was worse than I thought it would be. Apparently, they got some rant Sona dude who complains about getting canceled as their guest of honor. LOL. Help me identify these last few free fur all staff members. Any recognize Invictus? I've heard of that name before. I don't remember their significance to me, but Invictus, I remember that from somewhere. Argus H. Fowler of Akira. That's certainly a mouthful. No, I don't remember them. I don't know them. Arkin. That's a relatively generic name. Flare. Less generic, more unique, but still don't know them. Invictus, though. Why do I remember that name from somewhere? I'll probably figure it out when I look at these screen caps. If you know who these furs are and recognize these profile pics, my DMs are open. Alright. I do not like people with the name Orion. But thankfully there's only one bad Orion that I'm aware of. Invictus. That's right. These people cannot be reasoned with, so best to walk away from them like the screaming babies they are. And they are right. I am tempted wanting to fight back too. But giving no reaction is the only way to starve those assholes. No rumors. Yep. Incorrect. When they have nothing, they lie. Lies repeating have the force of the truth. Heh. Be nice to everyone is elementary school logic too. But that doesn't make it easy. Foxglove. I remember that name somewhere. Yep. On a side note for everyone, we already have our first serious inquiry into vending at the con. Okay. Found Fleur thanks to a helpful tip. Can we get the rest? Just get Arkin. Only 2 left. Neat. Free Fur All just copied TTFC's code of conduct, but they made some changes. Kissing in public is banned. Nazi uniforms are A-okay. You might find these code of conduct changes amusing. Krieg Blackpaw. This is how angry and irrational the haters are. How badly they don't want you to have fun. You were supposed to not exist anymore after they blocked you and banned you from public spaces, but free for all 22. Okay, so we're finally getting some, like, strong supporters of, like, you know, like, free for all. By the way, when I was, like, looking for tweets and material to, like, ponder on, I just kind of let it randomly come forth based on just free-for-all as a search. So I didn't really choose the order of operations it did. Twitter did for me. Dingolf. I remember this man. It's always the left that's quick to make threats of violence, joking or not, because they take it deadly serious when on the receiving end. So I'm very interested to see what the lead up to this conversation was. I always get a little bit leery about, you know, screen caps of this. It doesn't look good, but at the same time, some context behind it would be helpful. So someone's got popcorn, and it's like, only so I can vomit. Aw, yeah. Not even it was held at my house. And I think I might have downloaded that. Let's see, it's always left. That's quick to make threats of violence, making it not. Okay, let's see. Where did we leave off? 32. I think I, like, downloaded the rest of that conversation, but maybe not. Nope. I guess I didn't. Imagine that. Alright, let's get back to our 32. We might be at the end of our rope, actually. Nope, that's a little bit too far. Alright, skip ahead a bit. Alright, there we go. Considering how many far-right dog whistles free-for-all sounding, I think it's important folks know for the sake of their own safety. Additionally, to be wary of the folks participating. It gets more relevant by the day, and he's appearing at free-for-all. LMAO. Wow, I was totally ostracized by some nameless furries because I said, I don't think Two Griffin is all that funny. Seriously, go me. I'm not going to link them because they crave attention. It's just as a warning. Racist and transphobic furry Peace Wolf created an organization called Awoo Association to try to start a pro-free speech furry con called Free for All, with equally bigoted GOH 2 Griffin. Block and ignore. See, like, my problem with all this is, like, a lot of people are jumping up and down saying that they're racist and transphobic. I'm not seeing a whole lot of evidence to support that about Peace Wolf. 2 Griffin, he said some dumb things, but, like, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. On the fence about all this, seriously. This just seems like more of the Twitter hate mob to me. But that's fine. People don't like somebody, that's fine. But, like, the chat definitely showed some indications there's some problematic things happening in there. More info in the background of these idiots here. Avoid them at all costs. I really hope that's not associated with Dogpatch Press, because if it is, he doesn't exactly have what I call journalistic integrity. Politics Con. Sounds fun? Not at all. Back when I was a libertarian, this was years ago before I moved more to the left, I actually went to some political conferences focused on free speech rights, etc. Aha, so you're a turncoat. Why should you be trusted? I kid. Literally all they did was complain and spit out trite, flawed aphorisms as if they were nuggets of wisdom. A hall full of Patrick Bateman wannabes, professors that write economics fan fiction rather than do research, stoners as dumb as the stereotype, and unfortunately lots of young people tricked by the propaganda of it all. So yeah, I do not recommend Politics Con, LMAO. Thanks for actually stating who, what. It's always a massive source of headache when people obliquely refer to the bad thing with zero context, leaving you entirely clueless. Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to give them attention, but you want to warn people. It's best to name them, but not link to them or at them. Yeah, when I saw and researched it, well, I could tell right away with the guest of honor what it'd be like. The part about bringing back the OG fandom is cringy to me, even though I've only been in the fandom since 2006. Wrote a good thread on the OG days today too. Also, if it wasn't clear on my view, it's all bad and anyone involved is bad for propagating any of this and the message implicit behind it all and feel bad about it. We know they won't, but they should. What a terrible waste of a good pun. Shame a bit of Griff though. He was funny at one point. That's what I keep hearing. That he was funny, and then he wasn't. It's kind of like Dane Cook, how he burnt out so quick. But, oh well. I literally blocked everybody following that con account today. It gets more relevant by the day, and he's appearing in for free... Oh, we already saw that. Is this just repeating? No, wait, it's not. I always try to see the good in everybody, but with him, I just couldn't. Yeah, and some people I know look so hard for the good, they ignore the bad. And it just gets worse. Oh god, yeah. I learned to cut my losses when it seems to be done. Sidebar, love your hair. Why, thank you. Once I get some money and time together, I plan on dyeing my bangs blue again. It's been far too long. This tweet is 10 years old today, and it's still truth. Free for all logo. The 90s S. Reminder that the guest of honor for Free for All, America's Anthro Convention, thinks that statutory rape is no big deal. Oh, I remember that. You do know that he never raped a child, right? I'm wondering who he's referring to. I mean, I'm not saying I support him, but the sex he had with that minor was consensual. He was just under 18. Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing, but it wasn't rape, dude. Okay, I talked about that with my friend, like, earlier. How he and his boyfriend did it with a 17-year-old. So tell the friends to me. I mean, I haven't talked to the guy since, so I never got his side of the story. But considering the fact that he hasn't reached out to me and just completely, like, disappeared, leads me to believe that there's probably more truth to what people told me than I care to believe. I don't know why I decided to look for Free for All on Telegram. Honestly, what did I expect? Huh. Okay, so it's important to note that Free for All 22, it's the unofficial chat. It's only got 17 people in there, huh? And I see that a lot of this is in Spanish. Información. Canny Lupine. Yeah. Canny Lupine. I'm familiar with this individual. He's a rather controversial character. It's unofficial, it says it right there, but if this is some kind of people that it's going to attend, then maybe they do deserve all the shit they get. There is no joke on planet Earth funnier than the existence of free-for-all. Looking at this tweet makes me feel like my soul is partly lodged in comedy world. My whole body feels light and I'm overcome with a feeling akin to joy. It's like seeing these robots that are meant to do one job extremely comically and badly. The lineage of Trainwreck Oklahoma conventions is clearly alive and awooing folks. From Izumicon to Hobby Lobby Con to Free For All, the saga continues. That being said, let me be clear, don't support this convention monetarily or otherwise. That being... okay, 1,000 blessings on your house, Fence. The same 1,000 blessings on your house, Wafer, and I mean it. Gives you a high five that leaves a 6-foot crater where we're standing. Okay, guys. Amen. Important thread read. The pedophile zoophile rings in this fandom run deep at cons. The management staff at these cons are either participants or turn a blind eye. Dogpatch Press is part of it. It's time to take a stand. Now that I will actually fully agree on, if only from that image down there. Dogshit Press, like, my only personal beef with him, really, is that one of my friends tried to start, like, a miniature convention. It was more of a joke. I think it was called Mid-Atlantic City FurCon. It was basically taking place in Jersey, but basically 2 shitheads that weren't even a part of the group, I think, made some racist, like, comments, and basically dog shit equated that to, like, everybody in the group, in spite of the fact that there were clearly some African Americans among them, and basically said that they were all Nazis and white supremacists. Really goes down to my, like, friend Rad Fox, but I haven't seen the guy in a long time because of the COVID-19 and various other things. Convention going aside, but yeah. Like I said before, Dogpatch just does not have journalistic integrity. And he attacked his roommate for whatever reason. If you don't believe me, by the way, look it up. Like, if this actually happened. But anyway. Yeah, when I saw that during my Kier the Wolf investigation, quote-unquote, because I'm not really a detective, that sort of just made me kind of tilt my head to one side. Anyway. Friendly reminder that the people whining about free-for-all going as far as to make bomb threats and mass shooting events who are currently hurling accusations. Okay, this is a little bit hyperbolic because you're using 1 or 2 people among them to paint them all with a bad brush. So you're not being very intellectually honest, any more so than the people that are shitting on the convention. Friendly reminder that the people whining about free-for-all going as far as make bomb and mass shooting threats to the event who are currently hurling accusations of the convention being for Nazis and openly and warmly accept these kind of people. To be fair, like, just to be completely fair, this picture could have been taken before, like, dog shit press over here was fully aware that Growly was a convicted pedophile. But we can continue. But sure, it's 2 Griffin who is the bad guy because he made some offensive jokes. Well, I sympathize with 2 Griffin. You know, like, comedy should not be, like, marginalized and, like, held to some standard, but I don't know. At the same time, you don't make a rape joke in a room full of rape victims, okay? That's just some of the things that he said and, like, done, like that whole statutory rape comment, hasn't really endeared me to him. Not that I'm trying to say that, like, did it platform the guy, but it's like, you know, definitely decide if he's your cup of tea. He's not mine. Thank you very much for putting the hard work and research and putting all this together. We need to spread awareness about the cancer in our community. The child and animal rapists must be forced out. Honestly, good work, guys. It's awesome to see the shitbags weeded out of our community. I hope you all have fun at your con. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Your bigotry is ruining the furry fandom. Oh, wait, who is that at the top over here? No, seriously, who is that? Who's that supposed to be? I don't recognize that blue, like, wolf guy. Oh, wait. Is that supposed to be Sonic Fox? Oh, man. I legitimately do not know who that's supposed to be. The first thing that came to mind is Sonic Fox. Whether or not he's involved in this at all, I don't know. Patch was also close friends with Sangy. Yeah, Sangy was not a very good person. Patch, are you referring to Dog Patch or someone else? Yes, I was in their secret little Telegram chat for a while. I argued with Dio and Chip. Sangy was there for a bit, but after not long he stepped out, saying that there was something ordinal he needed to take care of. It was probably him knowing he was shot to get caught. I always wondered what exactly happened to Dog Patch exactly. Did he just disappear, or... He's probably blocked everyone except for his inner circle. Back when I was in their chat, he'd tell me I'm private after I argue with Dio and blah 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 blah. Radicalized him further. Scary to think that Patch would be radicalized further. Most would argue they were one of their main contributors that pushed the fandom into division. He did, and that was after the push. His charges aside, he didn't seem that bad at the time. It was when Dio got popular and when Chip was screeching about Gamergate that they joined their chat room and pushed me out. I was reporting on furry Kickstarter projects, I forget. If furries are bad and they are threatening other furries, then what's the problem? One could even say celebrate these kind of people. Gross. Bro, why are you even surprised at this point? Reasons why kids should not be furries. If they are making that kind of threat, they don't act differently than Nazis and fascists. Just saying. It's sad people don't realize if you behave like Nazis and fascists, you're basically one. Are you paid by Free For All? So you're a Muslim, a Buddhist, pansexual, and a communist. Correct. Is that a picture of Solid Snake? Oh, I don't know who that is. It looked like Solid Snake from a distance. Don't make me tap the sign. Periodically, progressives reverse engineer healthy sexual behavior and they act like they discovered Atlantis. These people need to be culled from society as a whole. Alright, so we've already looked at all that crap. Let's go ahead and look at the attachments. Things I downloaded separately. We've already read that. We already read that. What's that? Clyde Cash. Alright, I already read that. Interesting that you used the tagline Clyde Cash. Alright. I already read that. I see you're all at the all conservative furry con. The ventilator makes you big and round. Just so you're all aware, I had just saved this in drafts all yesterday. So today I woke up and chose this specific violence. I'm legitimately surprised this hasn't been quartered at Awoo yet. Followed by making their alveoli rupture and collapse. Doc, the patient 9's ventilator set up correctly. None of the other patients have become big and round. Okay. That's weird. Ah, here we go. This is what I wanted to look at. I think we already read this earlier. But this is like the whole thing. Let's see. Trying to avoid backlash. It makes us look guilty. Well, I mean, I think, you know, your mode of character should stand to reason that people are going to accept that you're a good person if you actually act like a good person and are a good person. But maybe I'm just crazy for suggesting that. Tu put it pretty well last night that we want to always be on the offensive, not defensive. Reactions are always defensive. That's right. These people cannot be reasoned with, so best to walk away. Okay, we already read all that. Oh, Peaceful actually said something. Oh, we hit 1 million. Okay, congratulations. Hot damn. Woohoo. It's so awesome. I'm just not betting a lot, not all the sum, but along with what the trash talkers are saying with the minds they're thinking. But yeah, okay, I'm always LOL. That's awesome. Hey, if I can keep my feet out of the fire, then anyone can. And yeah, I'm really proud of everyone for not agitating this and just chilling out and letting it take its course. Be nice to everyone. It's elementary school logic. Okay, we're finally getting some conversations here. Okay, this is the rest of that one thing I mentioned earlier. Let's not say stupid things in a public channel. I feel like this is a dangerous poll question. 10 people are typing. I suppose it depends on how right-wing and if it were satire or not. Bombing someone's house is satire? Let's see. I'm very interested to see who he's referring to and what the lead up to this is. Alright, we already saw that. We already saw that. We already saw that. Never forget Furries. Yeah. Friendly reminder that Sangi Nativus, owner of Inked Fur, a thrice-convicted pedo and very close friend to Susatus ringleader Snake Thing, who conspired together to groom Snake Thing's nephews for Sangi to diddle, is still welcome to and vending at furry cons. I wonder if I ever actually saw this guy IRL, because I've been to quite a few cons. Yeah. He's more relevant to the whole Kira the Wolf debacle, but I guess there's some crossover here. Imagine being honestly concerned about being able to tell your parents, Mom, Dad, Spot and I are going steady now. It's current year. You should accept our love. Don't be bigots. I was around 10 when I realized that I was due. That was probably the hardest thing to accept. It felt like there was nobody to talk to. My family was so racist and bigoted against even gays. Telling them that I was attracted to dog penis wasn't on my to-do list for a long time. Jesus Christ. Heron. That's entirely up to you to decide. I think we did have some shared interests, and I'm chill with getting to know each other, despite our differences, but it's cool if you just wanted to block me or whatever. If you were interested in setting aside differences, it would start with not supporting groups that promote racism and transphobia. I genuinely wish you had the best, bud, and I think we could have been friends, but I'm not interested in the drama that you're trying to stir up. I hope you can find some happiness and peace, though. Heron. Little Purple Leo. I'm sorry. I've actually seen this guy, IRL, like stomping around at furry cons. And embarrassingly, I was actually caught in a picture because I was taking a picture of this dude, and I just burst out laughing when I saw this guy stomping up, and he was angry. He was holding a Trump sign, and he was like marching his way right up to Anthrocon. The problem is he wasn't even an attendee. He was just walking around the con floor without a badge or anything like that. He didn't pay for the event. But somebody caught me on the sly. And so while most people were looking at this dude, a couple people pointed me out was just like, this guy though. I was in my Vault Dweller gear from Fallout because I was a cosplayer. I still am, but I could stand to lose some weight. Alright, we already saw this. Yeah, so that's all she wrote. These are all the screen caps I took. I think we should transition to commentary and things like that. So yeah, back in a sec. So at the time I was recording this, I actually stumbled on some other material, namely this news coverage in the form of an article. I have never seen this particular news organization, quote unquote. I mean, I looked briefly at About Us, and this was apparently started by 3 Toronto students in Canada. But it's basically called We Got This Covered, and this is one of the articles that popped up. A furry convention with ties to the alt-right was announced, and the fandom wants it dead. Which is a pretty accurate description of the series of events that's sort of taken place ever since, like, you know, Free For All was announced. But one thing that they do is that anytime that you see, like, orange text here, that's a link to something to sort of exposiate on, you know, what they're trying to, like, reference or talk about. And some of these seem fairly contrived. Like, it's secondhand accounts, hearsay. You never really, at least on the allegations of racism that, you know, Peace Wolf has allegedly said some things like the N-word or racial slurs against people of color. You don't actually see screen caps covering that. What you see are people complaining about it that had personally known her, or at least claimed to have personally known her. But we're going to go ahead and look at some of this. It also correlates the whole furry raiders and the ties to some of the people that might be attending this particular furry convention. So we can look at this later, but for right now, let's go ahead and hop around a bit. Okay, so this guy. Actually, well, it says princely, so I'm going to assume that they're a guy. Did you just assume my gender? Yes, I did. Peace Wolf Footlickers be like, people need to learn to handle different opinions, but if I went to your face and I told you, actually, I don't think you and your people are being hurt right now while you're getting beaten to the ground, allowing racism to fly by isn't peace. I'm curious what the replies are like. Okay, it's pretty much a continuation of this thread. But before we go into that, what I wanted to sort of highlight was this person, or Xeon Vibe, Sato, Masachimbo, Patient Zero. Honestly, it aggravates and frustrates me that she gained more followers after calling my people colored to my face in that thread than I have. It's not even cause I feel like I should have gotten clout or something, but mainly cause, like, goes to show racists never get punished. Show. She's gotten away with so much shit since that time. She tried to use MLK on me and called me and my people a slur from the days of segregation. Like, so angry. So, like I said before, we don't see actual screen caps. I'm not entirely sure if she did the same thing to me and called us the blacks. I mean, if true, this is certainly troubling, but at the same time, like, I'm wondering, was this, like, a real-life encounter? Like, was she in the same room as you guys and, like, talking to you all? Or was this something in, like, a chat room? Well, in that thread I have. Okay, that thread. So, I'm going to, like, extrapolate from this that this was probably online. Why are there no screen caps? You know, you'd think somebody high profile like Peace Wolf that is generating so much hateocracy against them, there'd be a little bit more material as, like, tangible evidence, like evidence of wrongdoing. But I just don't see it, you know? I'm not trying to, like... By the way, if it seems like I'm sort of, like, tiptoeing about, it's because I really don't know Peace Wolf, alright? I've heard the name a couple times over the past few years, but I never really overtly saw them as, like, you know, prolific figure here on the Furry Fandom. So it's... Anything that I could sort of extract from all this is really just, like, now. Alright? I don't have anything to reference it to, like, in the past. Mainly because I'm not, like, a Midwest fur, but, you know, I'm on the East Coast. So anyway, let's see. Saying racial slurs, yep. Participating in a chat room ran by a person who has advocated for the genocide of transgender people and has allegedly supported zoophiles. Let's see if I still have that up. Nope, that's dog patch. Or dog shit if you prefer. I certainly prefer dog shit press because they have no journalistic integrity, but they do seem to keep an eye on these people. Alright, we're gonna have to look at it again. Okay. So, Kenny Lupine. Notice how this name keeps popping up. They're almost like Diesel Raccoon insofar as just saying things that are not very well thought out. Let's just put it that way. They seem very impulsive, you know? Whatever issue pops up, like, they just impulsively say something, you know, talking out of their own ass. For instance, this blurry screen cap. I mean, you know, if this was, like, critically, and I didn't know Kenny Lupine, I'd say, like, this looks a little bit Photoshop, but maybe not. I think it's time to start gas chambers back up. Whew! Call me transphobic if you want, but this shit is absolutely ridiculous. They're mentally deranged and shoving their delusion onto children and into laws. It's time to push back hard, strip their legal privileges, and shove them back in the closet where they belong. I fully support trans erasure, 100%, unapologetically. Jesus Christ. Yeah... Kenny also full-heartedly believes that, and will argue that animals can consent to sexual contact with humans. He believes it's A-okay to rape dogs. He is not the type of person you want to be around or support. Jesus Christ. This gets worse and worse the more I'm reading. So, you might be aware that before I sort of pointed at Kenny Lupine, I'm like, I am fully aware who this individual is. Because, they've been kind of a lolcow that a lot of furries have just steered clear of for the past several years. You're beginning to see why, right? Like, this isn't just me reading all this, right? Anyway. Massive beware. Can we please get this redneck fucker banned from cons? He is legitimately wishing death upon trans people. And to think that he thinks bestiality and pedophilia is okay. I don't know about the pedophilia part. We haven't really seen anything about that. But the bestiality thing... Well, I haven't seen the screen caps, but I will reserve judgment. Let's see. So when's your first prostate exam? Oh wait, you don't have one because you're a woman. Some women have prostates. Fuck you. You lose. What's your point, fucktard? You're not gonna win this. Oh, I will. Hateful fucks like you won't win. When you're dead and your toe tag says female, it's not that hard to respect trans people. Alright, this is a clear screen cap, and yeah. Okay, they're an edgelord. Congratulations. People like this are subhuman pieces of shit. This is a quote retweet, I believe. No, wait. Yeah. Why is he emblazoning his name? I mean, like, I guess props to him. He's not gonna, like, back down from a challenge. He's not gonna lie and deny, but... Whew! Made public, so I hope the trashy fuckers see it. I will be removing everyone who is mutuals with them within 24 hours. Copy pasta from Ash Smith. A fur has passed away today at 2 p.m. due to bullying in this furry fandom for being transgender, which has been normalized because of popular furs or furs with fursuits or people willing to turn a blind eye and not see what is at stake for these victims of being bullied for their gender. This is not okay. If you are mutual friends with, and I don't know you specifically, blank, Kenny Lupine, dogfucker advocate, especially this user, as he even said that fur has passed, had the audacity, and is this continued? Prove it. As for the sex with minors, it depends. If the minor consents, then it's none of my business. And yes, minors can in fact consent. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that they themselves are a pedophile unless they've actually engaged in the activity or have an interest in that sort of thing. But at the same time, it just tells me that they're grossly apathetic to the activities of others. I was a minor... Whoa. Okay. And I consented. So you enabled a pedophile. Okay. But really, if you aren't against it, you're for it. Mindset is retarded. Consent is a legal term in this case, and minors cannot consent to sex acts. Legally, no. In the traditional sense, yes. Your face says no, but your butt says yes? Okay. Let's see. I don't need to see that. When the trans community harasses and attacks anyone that doesn't bow down to them 100%, including the nicest and sweetest people I've ever met, it gives people like me even more reason to keep fighting against them. This just sounds like a massive waste of energy and effort on your part. Drop the T. Drop the T. What the fuck? Drop the T. What does drop the T mean? Drop the testosterone? I can appreciate the fact that, like, some people are getting tired of the special, like, snowflakes out there that demand, like, total and complete agreement with everything that they stand for. But at the same time, at the bare basic, the live and let live principle, like, abides. I don't think too many people would disagree with that. Gun nut and support scaling of police officers. Ooh, okay. I know that ACAB has been in full swing the past few years, but still, that's no excuse. Oh, so he's a diaper fur. Alright, so he would have fit right into Rainforest. Okay. You know, why is that, like, a recurrent theme here with these kinds of people? Like, why do they have so many alt accounts? I can barely stay active on my account, let alone have the energy and time to spend flitzing about on, like, alternative accounts. Unlimited number of alts at my disposal. Who the fuck are you, Ashy Paws? Kiwi Farms thread with more proof shitty things he's done. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be said any more than what I've already spoken upon. Kenny Lupine is certainly a troubled individual, and engage with them at your own discretion, because my recommendation is that, you know, if you value your sanity and you value your standing in public, if you don't value that and you're like, you know, free spirit, that you're going to engage whoever you feel like, you know, I'm not your dad, I'm not your mom, I'm not going to tell you who you can and can't associate with, but he doesn't sound like an entirely pleasant individual to hang out with, you know? Let's see. Well, we already sort of looked at Peace Wolf, and allegedly there are like a lot of people claiming that they said racial slurs and stuff like that. They are participating in a chat room ran by that guy, Candy Lupine, so that's certainly cause for concern. Miller was previously charged with sex crimes against a minor. Okay. I already talked about that. Foxler. What does Foxler remind you of? Like, the name. Foxler. Does that remind you of anything? Is that auspicious enough for you? Well, imagine the furry version of Hitler. Foxler. Supposedly there was a different name that, like, popped up as far as that goes, but I don't know. It's... coupled with, like, the red armbands, like, that's a little bit of a dead ringer, don't you think? Anyway, we already know all that, but we can go ahead. I don't take anything that Dogshit Press says with any, like, credibility, but at least there's some cute pictures here for us to look at. And we can sort of just gloss over this and continue through, but that's Foxer, that's his boyfriend, Coda, and Coda, in my memory, was absolutely a sweetheart. Foxler, like I said before, I've seen him at conventions. He didn't seem overtly bad, but, you know, grooming a minor, that's kind of a serious offense. But they would also do a lot of things that just flew in the face of, like, you know, the social justice movement, and a lot of furries out there are adherents to the social justice, like, you know, ideologies. So it's, if you want to make it in this fandom, I mean, it's, you know, just be a good person, hang out with people, and just be honest and truthful, but this isn't the way. I don't quote me on this, but I feel like that's the dude that wears the Confederate fursuit, but I could be completely wrong. I feel like I've seen that face before. Let's see. They exist to infiltrate and troll the furry community. Yeah, I mean, if it's just rolling and trolling, I mean, what's the big deal? Besides the whole Nazi thing. How they killed Rocky Mountain Fur Con. Let's be fair. The people that actually killed Rocky Mountain Fur Con were the con staff, because if I remember correctly, the con chairman was a convicted, like, pedophile, and the fact that they didn't pay their taxes for, like, a while and signed off on, like, the sovereign citizen movement with, like, a bloody thumbprint as their signature. And Diotas Devil sort of bring more awareness to Rocky Mountain Fur Con. And finally, Boozy Badger. So those are the parties that were involved in the downfall of, like, Rocky Mountain Fur Con. Where you want to lay the blame, that's up to you. But, yeah, that was a messy thing. He was charged for sex offenses with a child, and it took place in 2050. Ooh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just grooming of a minor. Because it didn't come out until, like, way later. Okay, repeat offenders. Kovar. Attempt to influence a public servant, an invasion of privacy for sex gratification. Oh, man. So... well, for anybody that might be watching at this point in the video, I'm certainly happy that you could be here with me in a special deep dive into everything that's going into all this. Anyway, Dogshit Press, I don't really believe in their journalistic integrity, because they have, like, past stories in the past for personal gain, like, at the expense of others, but who hasn't in the realm of journalism, right? Let's see. Furry Raiders' ties to hate movements have been heavily documented. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek. Oh, we already saw that. I mean, the symbology there is pretty, like, powerful. Like, that's not a good look, alright? There are even known neo-Nazis with membership in the group. Neo-Nazis, huh? Like, genuine? Alright, this is Dogshit Press again. I don't think Two Griffin's a Nazi. I certainly think that they are, like, grossly apathetic to the feelings of others in, like, you know, the effort to be a funny guy, but let's see. One of their members even attended the now infamous Charlottesville March. I don't know if you all remember Charlottesville, but I guess the highlight of that whole, like, march was that somebody ended up getting run over by a Dodge Challenger. Not a good look. The group has also had a special chat, allegedly for zoophilia content. Okay. Reno has appeared in a Furry Raiders video and has previously faced allegations. Alright, let's see. Salutations, associates. We have an important announcement to make. Okay. You know what? Maybe we're just splitting hairs here. Let's look at the journalistic integrity of We Got This Covered. Do you actually have it covered? What are your credentials? Who are your references? About and advertising. We Got This Covered started as WordPress-hosted blog known as We Got It Covered. Founded by 3 Toronto-based university students as a place to write for fun, the site slowly expanded, and after a week or two, the owners decided it was time to get their own domain. On June 28, 2010, We Got This Covered was born. Okay, so they've been around for a while. That's a good sign. Currently, the only original founder on board is Matt Joseph, who runs the website as editor-in-chief. Helping him out is a team of dedicated editors and writers, which now numbers close to 20. At 10 years old, We Got This Covered continues to grow fast, with readers from all over 225 countries around the world. With a strong focus on film, TV, and gaming, the website continues to improve month over month. Recognized by major outlets like MTV, Huffington Post, Total Film, IndieWire, Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, and more, We Got This Covered as a strong brand name in the entertainment industry. Thank you for checking out the site. Please direct any and all questions or comments to info@wegotThiscovered.com, where all advertising inquiries should be sent to advertise@gamers.com. Okay, I mean, they got, like, you know, a small team here. So they're not just like Joe Schmo, like, posting something because they felt like it. Alright, well, we already looked at that. And as you can see, this conversation, like, zigs around quite a bit, so that's quite a bit of a thread. They're basically warning about Kenny Lupine over here. I like, can't help but feel that Kenny Lupine wasn't that bad once upon a time, but reading some of that, not a good look for you, man. Oh boy. Uh-oh. He's gonna be the Terminator. While all lives matter, we need to focus on making sure Black lives matter. All lives can only matter when Black people are treated as human. Until then, we need to fight for racial equality and take a stand against racial injustice. What evidence is there to suggest they aren't being treated as human? Denying that racism exists, I gotta say, I'm really sad to see someone I looked up to for many years turn out this way. Nothing against trans folk, however, it's extremely apparent that an increasing number of people are labeling themselves as such solely for the attention and victimhood points. We call those people transtrenders. People will do anything for popularity. It's quite unnerving. I mean, like, innocuous, not overtly problematic, but still grossly insensitive to people that might look at that and get the wrong idea. I don't know. It's like, I wouldn't say that they're transphobic based on that, but maybe ignorant on the extent of the problems facing the community these days. Let's see. Molesting the molesters. Boy, do I have a story to tell. Let's see. FashCon, NDA bans criticism, collabs with Nazi zoophiles, famous for sabotaging cons, likes violence against BLM, supports Kenny Lupine, universally banned for violent threats, hosts alt-right pedophile apologist who backed violent neo-Nazis at Charlottesville, runs troll accounts. Okay. Alright, this video is getting excessively long now. I'm gonna have to start, like, rushing things along. Let's see, real quick. Orion that's one of the people that's, like, a part of all this, has been caught with his ass hanging out before, but never like this. Oh, honey, you and your hideous fursuit did it now. Oh no, what do you do this time? Anti-masker. Well, a lot of people were concerned about the extent of, you know, the COVID-19, and a lot of people kind of defied regulations, and then COVID-19 seemed to spread more in places that didn't have regulations, you know, basic ones in mind, like, you know, masking up, getting vaccinated, things like that. Alt of Peace Wolf Actual. Okay, so here we get the fire. Like, you know, you got the positive side over there at Peace Wolf, like actual, and now you're getting the fire. This is the dark side. Basically, they just rant and rave about cancel culture and things like that, and things are, like, happening. And, you know, cancel culture is legitimately a problem, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't give you an excuse to, you know, maybe just be insensitive or... Let's see, the more we focus on race, the longer racism is going to continue to be a problem. Can we just not... Some of these talking points are things that I could certainly agree with, but, you know, you have to sort of wonder, is she being honest, sincere, truthful in how her delivery is? I can see, like, why people are getting the whole sort of, like, conservative bent and sort of Christian bent to this. Let's see, I hate the country America is becoming. I love her, but she's letting evil people slowly corrupt her. MAGA was the perfect tagline for her presidency. Okay, now I'm starting to see, like, why people got angry. You don't even have to like the guy. Make America great again before it's too late. Let's see, there are many things in this world. Well, they and 2 Griffin have become steadfast allies in the fight against cancel culture and everything that's happened. There's always this outspoken by my opinions, but since the First Amendment became a literal threat to my safety, if I do or don't speak up, I've changed. Our society is being trained to punish those with the wrong opinions. That's not freedom of speech. It's a lot more complicated than that, but I don't have the time to go into it. Alright. We already saw that. Wait, what? I saw Blumir. The Peaceful Chair happily participates in Kenny Lupine's chat, who advocates for violence and genocide. To be fair, Kenny Lupine did say some very spicy things, so, you know. Also claims animals can consent to sex. Welcoming zoophiles is not a good example for young people. Although I would challenge some of these people that are, like, acting like it's an egregious offense and, like, try to see, like, where they actually stand on the whole zoophilia thing, because it's no secret that, you know, pedobears and things like that, they are rife in furry conventions, but thankfully, only, like, most of the friends that I have never had negative experiences with people like that. But that quickly changes when you're drunk. One of my friends was nearly accosted, and thankfully managed to fight off the attacker, or would-be attacker, but... ugh. Not always the best people attending furry cons. Stay safe. The world at large is a cruel and dark place. Let's see, we already looked at Princely Lemonade, which, that's a fucking picture of Pac-Man and Katamari Damacy. That's not a lemon. Alright, that's all she wrote. So that's all the new material that I could really look at. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of... I think that was like the main article that sort of popped up as #1 when I was looking into all this. Anyway, let's get back to the commentary, alright? Well, that was a lot of material to cover. I mean, like, a lot more than I initially, like, expected, you know, because as far as the screen caps go, I know it seems like mindless drivel sometimes, but I included as much as I could because I feel like that's a more accurate representation of how, you know, the people throughout the furry fandom feel about all this, you know, and things that they happen to say along the way. It's all important in sort of like, you know, broadcasting, hey, these are my opinions about this. Some people sort of present it in a more dickish fashion than others, but others, you know, they seem like, yeah, at least convinced about what they're talking about. Me personally, though, this seems to go back to the whole cancel culture thing that we've seen time and time again. Granted, not without merit. I mean, there's certainly some bad actors and bad hombres, like, you know, working behind the scenes here. But as far as Peace Wolf goes, the only crime, quote-unquote, that I could see that they're guilty of is being, you know, part of the whole MAGA movement and, you know, picking 2 Griffin to be the guest of honor. And 2 Griffin isn't too popular these days, at least within, you know, contemporary furry circles. They're seen as this aging boomer that, you know, their time in the sun had came and gone, and they're sort of clinging on to that last vestiges of his popularity. To be fair, I'm not trying to, like, cut the guy down from the knees, but I'll just say that if you want to check him out sometime, you know, you're free to. That's your prerogative. I'm just saying that, like, based on what I know and what I've seen, I'm not, like, his stuff ain't for me, alright? Maybe he's funny, like, in a gaming way. I'll have to check out his gaming stuff sometime, but as far as, like, the stand-up comedy and, like, edgy humor, I don't know, like, yeah, I guess you gotta change with the times, and if you, like, focus all of your attention on a particular style, that can either make or break your career, you know what I mean? Because people have to sort of be into it to, like, be into it, honestly. Like, they sort of had to pick up what you're putting down and, like, really follow along with what kind of jokes that you're presenting. If they're funny, they're funny. If they're not laughing, if they're going to stand on principle, then either come up with a new act or find a new audience. That's just how it goes, you know? All in all, though, like, nothing personally against him except for some of the things that he said along the way that were either grossly insensitive or outright kind of dickish, you know? But, again, as far as the full extent of his activities and what he's engaged in, I have no idea. He seems like he's very defiant in the face of, like, the present culture of furry fandom. And, you know, plenty of people out there, they will go ahead and jump up and down and say that it's all for principle, but, you know, there's plenty of furries out there that they don't really care about right or left. They just want to have a good time and enjoy the company of their fellow furs, and they don't want to be bothered by drama. They, you know, I guess you can call them hermits in a way, because they will be in a social circle for as long as they can be until something bad happens. Like, drama takes place, or somebody is outed as being, like, a pedophile or, you know, a zoophile. And then they're going to, like, avoid that like the plague because they don't want to be dragged into it. Not many people would, alright? I guess it really depends on how long you've been with a friend and, like, you know, if in the face of all that shit, they'll be there to, like, have your back and pick you up if you ever experience, like, a particularly egregious, you know, incident with somebody else. I don't know. But drama has a way of sort of, like, revealing who your true friends are. But even true friends would have a hard time defending bad actions on your part. And, you know, for the most part, like, they'll stick by your side until you really fucking fuck up. I'm talking about, like, statutory rape, pedophilia, zoophilia, all the philias. Yeah. I'm not seeing a whole lot of material, like actual screen caps of Peace Wolf, that are particularly egregious. I feel like the most sensitive of SJWs are coming forth based on the sole principle that they're spearheading a free-for-all con. And the problem is that some of the attendees, or projected attendees, that are definitely interested and definitely going to go, it seems like they're going to this event because, you know, finally there's a furry convention that is going to stand on the principle of the First Amendment, you know, freedom of speech. And they think that gives them carte blanche to, you know, be shitheads along the way. You already saw some of the, like, you know, isolated, I say isolated in quotes because I don't know the full extent of, like, if this is a daily occurrence or anything like that. Because, you know, screen caps, they can be taken out of context, they can be taken at random times. You have no idea if that's like a daily occurrence or if it's like a once in a blue moon sort of situation, alright? I'm just trying to be fair, like, in all sake, for fairness sake. But yeah, like, we've already seen that some of the attendees are basically using this as an excuse to just be shitheads and say whatever and whenever, and, like, whatever edgy bullshit they can possibly come up with on the fly. That's not good, alright? Like, that's setting a very bad precedent, like, for the perception of the rest of the fandom. And universally, at the mere mention of, like, free-for-all as a convention to, like, the rest of my friends, their reaction was, like, either ugh or rolling their eyes. Like, they did not take it seriously at all. Me personally, I do not hope it fails. I hope, like, you know, their endeavors are successful insofar as a convention that caters to the masses, but, you know, you gotta have to, like, cultivate the attendees either locally or across the nation to, like, get the attendance count where it matters, because if you don't get that up, then you're not going to have a convention next year. You're not going to raise the funds that are necessary to sustain a convention. So, you know, it would behoove Free-for-All to be a little bit more transparent in its actions and maybe not be, I guess, heavy-handed in how it responds to criticism, you know, just outright removing people. You kind of let things pass and just let people say what they're going to say, and if people respect that, then they're going to, you know, either agree with them or take credence in their words. They're not going to, like, you know, the more that you resist, you know, like, the more that people are going to be, like, having ammunition sort of used against you, you know? You can't keep doing this sorts of things and expect, like, you know, all dissent to just magically go away. They're going to be the types of people that jump up and down and be like, oh, wow, did you look at that? This convention was supposed to be for the freedom of speech, but they, like, blocked me from being able to reply or voice my opinion. And, you know, it just seems like a vicious cycle of that. And we're only, like, what, 6 days in since this dropped? Like, the news dropped of, like, free-for-all? So, I don't know. It's still fairly early. I'm a little bit late to the party here because I've had a lot of things taken care of. But, you know, going into all this with you all by my side, it's just... I don't know. A lot of people expressing aggravation, frustration, and irritation at this convention possibly taking place. And you get to see, like, increasingly some people are going above and beyond what I would consider to be a normal reaction to this sort of thing. But, you know, I don't like the idea of a convention that caters to Nazis, alt-furries, and, you know, various other ne'er-do-wells that, you know, think it's okay to, like, take guns to a convention and, you know, maybe wear Nazi uniforms. I don't know. That's obviously a hyperbolic response to all this because, from what I've seen, we see a bunch of edgelords and some real bad actors above the mix, but, you know, as far as how serious they are about what they say, I don't know. I don't know these people. I haven't had a chance to really cross-reference what they're saying and how they act, you know, because a lot of the people that were labeled as Nazis, they turned out to just be memesters and edgelords that would just be really shitty people to get a rise out of people. And maybe people are playing into that. Maybe that's their grand plan. I don't think so. I think they're not consciously, like, doing this, but you saw at least the efforts of the people at the top of the convention, presumably, because, like, Peace Wolf tried to distance themselves underhandedly, that they weren't, like, head of all this, but, like, a lot of people are claiming that they are, and there's quote-unquote evidence floating around out there that she's absolutely the progenitor of this convention. And they're, like, basically agreeing that they need to be above the people trying to drag them down, which I can certainly respect. What I can't respect is dishonesty and, you know, lack of transparency in their policies and how they've been responding to the people trying to take them down. Because, you know, fighting fire with fire doesn't always work. You should not, like, be a hypocrite yourself. If you're complaining about cancel culture, you shouldn't respond the same way that the people that are against you are going to respond to you. You need to, like, sort of show that you're a better person than they are and rise above the influence, so to say. And I'm not referring to the drugs. Anyway, what is the conclusion to all this? It's been, like, what? It's got to be, like, 2 hours by this point. I would say that, honestly, it's inconclusive as far as, like, Peace Wolf goes. I have not seen any evidence, like, direct evidence of damning communications by them. I've seen a lot of secondhand accounts claiming that they're guilty of these things, but I've never seen any, like, actual screen caps of truly problematic behavior by their part, except for maybe being part of the whole MAGA movement. That's really dealing with politics, so that's really a question for you. Do you want to deal with somebody that's from the MAGA movement? Probably not, but I don't know you. A lot of people don't like MAGA people because of a combination of things: the perception that they're ignorant, that they're just blindly nationalistic to a corrupt political system that does not care about you or I and just wants to get in touch with foreign wars and imperialism and this perpetuation of, you know, the good old-fashioned American dream, which, if you study history, a lot more people than just America are guilty of a lot of egregious things. But you and I probably live here, so that's... I don't believe in inherited guilt, though. I believe in objective fact and truth that, you know, from a historical basis, you acknowledge history for what it is. It happened, and if there's enough credible evidence to support that it happened, it's something that you have to accept. It's something that you have to come to terms with. It's something that you have to transcend. Hopefully, make it right, make it better. Don't regress or go back to the times before that to lead it to happen again. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. To Griffin, I don't think they're particularly funny, and they've said some insensitive and honestly ignorant things, but are they a Nazi? No, I don't think so. Have they rubbed shoulders with people that are Nazis? Yes. Has Peace Wolf rubbed shoulders with people that are considered alt-right, far-right, bullshit like that? Yes. At least from what we've seen. I mean, she was in a fucking chat room with Kenny Lupine, and Kenny Lupine, I could make an entire video about. Probably not going to, but I could. I mean, just look at the things that they say. They'd probably turn out like Diesel Raccoon. But as for some of the other people, the relations of the Furry Raiders, I'm not seeing that strong of a connection with the Furry Raiders, but at the same time, you know, like some of those con heads, I didn't recognize a lot of those names. A couple of them I feel like I've seen once or twice here or there, but the Furry Raiders will probably come to this convention, is the connotations that people like Dogshit Press and some other people would like to say and would like you to believe. Entirely possible, because Rocky Mountain FurCon is no longer a thing, and they don't really trust the convention that replaced it. So yeah, it stands to reason that this will probably be the next best stop. And the Furry Raiders are a bunch of edgelords and memesters, but some of them are bad hombres that have done things that certainly would not endear you or I to them. In passing fancy, when I've seen them at conventions, they didn't do anything truly problematic, but a lot of people did not want to be around them for obvious reasons. I mean, I guess the one thing that I could sort of like cock an eyebrow at is the fact that they wore their armbands in public, in con spaces. Now, conventions were quick to sort of take a stance against that, like later, but it really depends on the geographical location where you go. Obviously, it's highly frowned upon, but some conventions would frown upon it, but let it slide. Other conventions were like, hey, that's got like connotations with Nazi memorabilia. You're gonna have to not. Anyway, other people, it seems like garden variety memesters and edgelords. As far as genuine true Nazis, like the fact that somebody went to a Charlottesville rally and was present there with all that as a part of one of these furry groups, kind of questionable. So, while nothing overtly can be tied to, you know, Peace Wolf here, I would say that, like, you know, oh, I completely forgot about something. Alright, remember how I mentioned that charity group that the convention is vouching for, Safari? There have been allegations that Safari has sort of exploited the animals in their care. You know, for like the whole birthday meetups and events for like quote-unquote educational purposes, and that it's not as caring and loving as a facility as they would let you like believe. I believe the problem's been rectified, so I don't know about like modern day, but it is known that Peace Wolf does volunteer there. What am I trying to say here? I'm sure it's fine, but again, like I don't know the internal operations of this charity group. I don't know what their structure is. I only like saw their website, and I only saw what they are, you know, stating that they are all for. And, you know, I included some annotations of like what people are alleging, but there's no hard proof or evidence to support this. At least like in the modern day. The fact that it happened, yeah, it's truly a tragedy, but, you know, if it's happening today, why is the charity still in operation? Other than that, like, certainly a convention that's off to a very rocky start. And people have even gone so far as to reach out to the Marriott and basically say, hey, like, you know, these people are not good people. Like, we would like to question why you're, you know, hosting them at your facilities. And the Marriott's response, the convention where this, well, the convention hotel where this is all supposed to take place, their official response that they were sort of saying that they would like to reserve judgment and that they would appreciate if people stopped calling them or contacting them, that the convention may not even take place, that they're like, it's so far out, like almost a year from now, that they're not even sure if like it's going to actually take place. So it's entirely possible that free for all is not even going to take place. That's the implication that the Marriott was sort of giving. That would certainly fly in the face of everybody that was been anticipating this convention for a long time now, but I don't know. So I guess it comes down to the fact that we're off to a rocky start. A lot of people are ranting and raving about how Free for All is a bad convention filled with bad people, or it's going to be filled with bad people, and a lot of people have just been shitting on it and dragging it through the mud. I don't think that's necessarily mature or responsible of these individuals, but at the same time, there's certainly in just even a cursory glance, the 2.5 hours I spent in this video looking at things, there is certainly enough material floating around that's certainly at least a bit controversial. I see some good actors on both sides. I see some bad actors on both sides. And I see some people that are just, why are you even talking? Some people aren't even going to, like, regardless of what their friends say, they're not even going to give the convention a fair chance, like a fair shot. And a lot of people say it doesn't deserve a fair shot because it's catering to Nazis, all furs, conservatives. And it really depends on you. What did you see here? Did you see anything controversial that stood out and was truly egregious and something that was problematic to you? You've certainly seen some people that said some pretty raunchy things about how, you know, their views on minorities, trans people, and gay people aren't exactly good. And they've admitted to things that, like, such as not seeing statutory rape and, you know, bestiality as not being all that big of a deal. So, yeah. But again, these are hopefully the minority of the group. They are not, like, representative of everybody that is interested in anticipation of going to free-for-all. Am I going to go? I don't know. If it's going to happen, I kind of want to go with my video cam and be like a journalist and just kind of wait and see if something, like, truly egregious happens, to see if there's any proof to all of this. And hopefully have a good time. But again, like a lot of people are saying, based on what they've read in the terms of service, that this is going to be like a Mormon con, and that the theme is not going to be very conducive to, like, you know, fun, like room parties and things like that. So your mileage may entirely vary. But yeah, I certainly saw, like, hints of the sort of Christian conservative slant to a lot of these things. So I can see certainly where people were sort of getting the idea that this is a Mormon convention. And, you know, being in Oklahoma, that's pretty close to, like, Mormon territory, right? I haven't really studied the Mormons for a while. I know that more like Mormonism, that was more like a Fallout New Vegas thing, like, you know, when I was thinking about it. But all in all, in conclusion, if you want to go to this convention, you can go if it's actually going to happen. But, you know, like, sort of just waiting to see if it's actually going to happen. But at the same time, be prepared for a backlash. Your friends will probably criticize you for it. People will think less of you for it. I'm not trying to say that they have a right to feel less about you for it, but let's be honest here. This sort of thing has come and gone in the past for whatever associations with certain people or certain events. It's a trend that I wish would happen. I should say, I wish would stop happening, but at the same time, people are going to do what they're going to do, alright? It's like, you can't change human nature, alright? It's going to be the whole us and them mentality to varying extremes. And I feel like the people really caught in the middle of all this are average Joe Schmoes like you and me. That, you know, we just want to do what we want to do, enjoy what we want to do, say what we want to do. And not necessarily in, like, a way that's going to hurt anybody else. Just, you know, in passing fancy with the people that we hang out with and enjoy time with. But cancel culture certainly is a problematic force in all of this that has just been disrupting everything. And whether or not free-for-all can even get off the ground, it's going to be interesting. But in the earlier part of this video, you already saw me give my misgivings to looking at their website and some of the people associated with it. Peace Wolf, apart from being maybe a Christian fur and, like, a conservative fur and, like, stuff like that, I don't see anything overtly problematic coming out of them. Besides maybe their ranting account, but they don't seem like that bad of a person. You know, all things considered here. In fact, I saw, like, some of the people that were commenting to be worse people than Peace Wolf, objectively. But, like, if somebody has proof of the allegations against Peace Wolf that they actually used racial slurs and that maybe they're not as good of a person as they seem to be, then I'm all ears. Other than that, that was the biggest, latest, greatest drama that took place on Twitter that I noticed that was causing a little bit of a storm. And how did I find out about Free-for-All? A couple different ways. I saw mention of it a couple times throughout, like, circulating throughout Twitter. Somebody in another Telegram chat room, that group that I'm part of, they mentioned it, and then they linked to the site, and I just kind of looked at it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I went back to what I was doing. And then I decided, well, might as well make a video about it now that I finished most of my other work. So here we are. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Till next time, take care and peace. I hope you all have a better one.
Okay. Let's go have some fun.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Would you care to hit that like button and subscribe for more? I'd greatly appreciate it.